Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we got to talk about Larimar City Update. Paperwork, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's in English only because it's been translated. It's in Spanish, which is the actual correct interpretation. So if you can read Spanish, it works out best because when you translate, sometimes words mean different things. So we're going to try and get into it tonight, and it could be a while, but some of you may be saying to me, Eric, it's SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Yes, it is. Only members with the icon can be in the chat room. Yes, it is. But I have opened up the Instagram channel, which is Stop Struggling Now, as you guys may or may not know. So on Instagram, you can ask questions. And for all the members with the icons next to their name, you can ask questions. And of course, we're going to be talking about investing. We're going to be talking about streams of income. So again, thank you so much for being here and welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear, military edition. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. Here, and tonight is a very special edition. I will be making an actual video about this, but this is the first time I'm going to be reading it or seeing it on screen. What has happened, if you're not a member of our WhatsApp group, we have already been reading some of it, a lot of it. Thank you to Mo for actually translating it for me and putting it into my WhatsApp. And so we actually have the PDF out on our WhatsApp group. So if you haven't joined our WhatsApp group yet, down below in the description box, there is a link to the SSN Lifestyle WhatsApp group. And I have to approve you. The other part of the story goes, when you sign up, you do not see any of the old messages. So again, I didn't realize this till about a week to 2 weeks ago, that when people signed in, that they saw nothing. But I want to thank Nadine for that, because she's finally a person that actually said something. So let's get into it shortly. And everybody on Instagram, thank you so much for being in the house this evening. This ought to be pretty awesome. If you have any questions, let's go. Now, let me pull some things up. I do not have it already ready. Let me see the English version. All right, in the chat room, I've also put in a link. In fact, let me double check. I think I put in a link already where you can actually, let's see, did I put, yes, there's a link share. Right here's what it looks like. That'll take you over. This link is only for 24, 48 hours, something like that. So you can actually download the Spanish version. English version, I don't think you're going to be able to download that yet. But after this video is over, I'll have the Spanish version, and then I'll have the translated version in the description box down below. So hopefully that helps everybody out and you can't miss it. Now, Victor Marrero is here, a real estate investor, a man that is now retired. He's set to go worldwide. He's going to go traveling, ladies and gentlemen, after all the hard work he put in by investing, getting his streams of income, and putting in hard work over all these years. He deserves it. His family deserves it. His loved ones deserve it. So I'm glad he's here this evening once again. And he brings his tagline into the SSN Nation. Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. He says, hello, all. Let's do this. And that's exactly what it is. Joel Nolasco, the man that sent me over the PDF originally. Post haste, actually, the man was on it. He actually sent it to me yesterday. So I have to give full disclosure. I actually had it since yesterday. Thank you to Joel Nolasco. I also was getting some feedback from Joel Nolasco because he speaks Spanish. He could read it. He could help me out. And again, thank you so much, because there is one thing I want to caution everybody. Okay? One thing. And I'm going to still go double check just so you guys know. But Victor Marrero, once again, hello all. Let's do this. Is exactly what we're going to be doing. And Mr. De La Cruz is in the house. He has a smile on his face, I'm pretty sure, because he's an avid investor in the Dominican Republic's real estate market. So once again, I want to thank him for being in the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with his icon next to his name as well. And he brings his tagline, good evening, SSN Nation, and good evening to you, Mr. De La Cruz, the man that made awesome investments, I have to say. So in the DR. And if you want to make investments in the DR, again, make sure you go see our WhatsApp group. Our SSN Lifestyle brand is a sub broker in the DR. All right, just so you guys know. So that means we have association with many different developers. So that's why you would hit me up. You guys have my number. I am the admin of the WhatsApp group. So that's how you can contact me. That way is the easiest way, because you can send PDFs, pictures, documents, videos, a lot simpler, because as you may or may not know, email has limits. All right. So everybody wants to hear about this. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let me give a surprise. Larimar City and Resort. This is not just any old document. This is not any old document. This is a document, and I'm gonna preface this whole conversation. Until Larimar City actually releases it and says something about it, then I'm gonna hold my reserve on this. There's a reason why I say that, and I can't tell which one this is. Just a second. I'm going to put this on the screen. The reason why I say that is because there's a situation with when you do documents in the DR. If I sign something, not only do they require wet signatures, and this is one of the things that why a bank takes hours to open up an account. Not even open an account. It takes hours just to fill out paperwork, because they have to print the doc out. You have to wet signature, means you have to sign it. It ain't no electronic stuff. And if it's a business, I have to stamp my business stamp on there with the RNC number. So I just can't do a DocuSign and we're good. So this does not have wet signatures on it. So I don't know what this is. I've been trying to figure out what it is. I don't know if this is some sort of pre-approval. It looks like an approval, but nonetheless, this has come out. And what I was going to show you was one thing, and that's the first thing that I'm going to say. The second thing I'm going to show is this. If this comes out, which again, this didn't just come out today, it came out yesterday. And Joel Nolasco gave me a link, which I'm not going to share, but he gave me a link where you can actually pull it up independently. But again, the way things read, I can't tell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to Larimar just to show you guys, because until they say something, I'm like, okay. So again, this is the only place that I know that actually gives out any information. All right. Let me take this off real quick. This is the only place I know. All right. This is their Instagram. All right. That's the only place I know. Now, here's their Instagram. There is no messaging or anything about this PDF. That's on the pictures. That was on the Reels. This is on their post. There's nothing. All right. So anybody else posting this and saying this means something, yes, it does mean something. I just don't know what it is, because there's one thing. I am not an expert in DR real estate. What do I mean by that? I've never tried to go through the building process yet. So I can't tell you what the permits and what the trail is looking like. So if you're talking about in America, it's relatively simple. This would not wash. I'm just saying, because they're acting like this is a permit. And then I'm like, okay, but if you pull the permit, that means you're going to have a permit number, not a big ass document. And that also means that you're going to have to start doing something. Or why are you going to pay for the permit? That doesn't make any sense. You're going to sit on it. That's kind of crazy. So you have time frames there. So this is why it's kind of interesting. So again, I don't know DR rules. Maybe somebody here knows DR rules. So that would be helpful if somebody can join us, whether you're on Instagram, find us on Stop Struggling Now, or if you can join me here and you're already a member of the channel, maybe somebody here, I know who knows. Roddy knows, because he's actually built there. And maybe a few other people know, because they actually went through the building process there before. All right. Market hit the floor today. Of course, ETFs and stocks on sale. I loaded up. The comeback will be sweet. Yes, Victor Morero, I love your dollar cost averaging. Why do I love it? Because last week when it dipped, he bought. It popped back up. This week it dips again. Remember, 700 points last week for one stock market index. And then remember, it was 500 today. So if those are your stocks that dip that much, 1%, 2%, that's crazy. You should be considering buying if you believe the stock is a winner. All right. Other people may believe the stock is not a winner and say, well, I'll just take my profit and sell. I don't want to find out if it's going to keep dropping. All right. Now, it's very simple, though. Victor Morero knows this. He's part of the SSN Nation. He's an investor. He knows the game. We've talked about it all last 3, 4, 5 months. I have. We've talked about it. The Federal Reserve is going to reduce the interest rates. That means stocks are going to go up, because the company is going to borrow, steal, do whatever they need to do to rebuy their stocks to make the stock prices go higher anyhow. So you don't even have, this is like a no-brainer damn thing, pretty much. All right. So Victor Morero, the comeback will commence. All right. Joe Nay, another investor's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to his name, which I love. And he says, good evening, SSN. That's right. It's a good evening. All the Larimar investors, this is a great evening. Like I said, wait till tomorrow. I'm going to actually put out a video, but live, I like better. You know why? Because people actually can ask questions. We can chat. We can do a lot of different things. That's what I love about it. So let's get into it, shall we? Let me see. Wait, hold on. There's something else. Oh, I left out something. Beachfront Java. Our own Professor Auntie Val and family has beachfrontjava.com. You got to go down there and show some love. If you love coffee, set yourself up right now. When the weather starts getting chilly in about 2 to 3 months, you'll already have some of the best premium coffee on the planet. African beans, Central American beans, South American beans, Indonesian beans, premium blend in a Ziploc fresh bag, whole beans, fine ground for all you espressos, aficionados, drip ground, whichever way you want to go, plus the Keurig. She didn't leave anybody out. And It's not just one variety or 2 or 5 or 10. She has double digits, over 10 varieties of different coffee blends. Then, if you think that's not enough, she says, I'm going with the tea. We're going with the tea now. So she has tea as well. So go over to beachfrontjava.com, but use SSN Lifestyle, all caps. So that way you get a discount after your first order for life. Free shipping in the United States. Go show some love. It's our own. If you're our own, we have to promote our own, right? That's what we have to do. Victor Marrero, speaking of promoting our own, we have to know if you decide on a YouTube channel name for when you go Mr. Worldwide. We've got to promote it now, right? Joe Nay, he says, how is everybody this evening? We're doing great, man. I just smashed that like button. I appreciate it. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Here we go. Somebody's already chiming in. Victor Marrero says this: the Ministry of International Resources has approved a license for development of Larimar City project. Yes, but again, the license is good for 5 years. See, I don't know what this means. Unfortunately, I didn't get to the builds phase because this right here, it says a license for 5 years. What does that mean? Anybody? Since we have some people here, maybe Victor Marrero can tell me. I don't know what that means. Does that mean they have to be completed in 5 years in? See, this is what I'm talking about. Well, what it means to me is if it's not completed in 5 years, then we have a problem. Well, not really a problem. All I'm saying is sounds like to me, they're going to give you a license for 5 years. And at the end of the 5 years, it expires. But what does expiration mean? Does that mean we re-up? Which I have a feeling that's what it means. Quite frankly, I think that's what it means. All right. I think that's what it means. All right. Now I have it on screen so some people can read while I'm going through some of this. Hello, SSN Nation from Laverne Penix. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon that I greatly appreciate next to his name. And he says, hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I received a notification in trailer. And yes, I am feeling well because I'm back to 95 to 98% in the health department wise. So we can move around. We're all good. It looks like no more pains. It's all good. Whatever it was, it's gone. And Laverne Penix is known in this YouTube street as Mr. Cool. He's another investor in the DR. Hello, SSN Nation is his tagline. I hope everyone is doing well. Yes, we do. I received a notification and saw the trailer. All right, there we go. I'm liking what I see so far. I do. And thank everybody for being in the house tonight. Friday night, we're going to talk about this some more. Friday night, we're going to talk about this some more because by then I'll have this all sorted out. We'll see if Claire HP actually says something. I'm going to tell you guys something. When Joel Nolasco first sent this to me yesterday, to me, I said, this looks like an impact report, what we call an environmental impact report. That's what it looked like to me. I said, because, okay, this will be okay, we'll get into it. If you decided to do a project and let's just say there's a 2-lane road for the last 4 miles, and then you decided to put up a place that's going to hold, let's just say 10,000 people. Well, what the county and everybody's going to do in America, I have to notify X amount of my neighbors that live there or have land there, and X amount of miles. It depends on what city, state, and county you live in. So that's one of the first things I have to do. And I got to go down and see the city council or county representatives and tell them about my project. And that's where people can come and say, hell no, we don't want that. Or hell yes, we'll be fine with that. But then they'll say, okay, if the people kind of say, okay, then I have to have already an environmental impact report. And I have to put in there what I'm going to do when we add 10,000 people down here for a 2-lane road. Clearly, they're going to say, well, I have to show them, well, we're going to spend money to make this a 4-lane road. That's what it's going to have to be. Then they're going to say, okay, hold on, but what about the environmental impact? What about water, sewer, garbage, electricity? What's going to happen with all that? You're going to have an impact on everybody, all the neighbors for miles around, everybody that lives around here. We don't even have 10,000 people in this city. So now you're going to be jacking our water. All this comes into play. So to me, that's what this report is. And that's why I, like Victor Morrell just said, Ministry of Natural Resources. That's what it's like to me. It's natural. It's your resources. So if I'm going to put 30,000 people in a location, I need to find out the environmental impact. So I don't know if that necessarily means permit, but we'll go along this because Mo was kind enough to give me the English version earlier. And it looks like they are talking permits. So let's get into that. We'll have other people chiming in here. Brian P is here. Mr. Dividend has arrived. If you still don't know about YieldMax ETF, go see yieldmaxetfs.com. Mr. Dividend's specialty. And Brian P, thank you so much for being here with that icon next to your name to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he says, hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Yes, it is. Hello, SSN family. All right, let's see here. I'm telling you guys, if you're from DR, you can't get in the chat room here at YouTube, then please go to Instagram and go look up Stop Struggling Now, become a follower, and join us on the live stream there. Maybe you can help us out along the way with what this means. So I guess I got to contact some of our builder friends and find out what the hell's going on. All right, now, that's not the English version. Hold on a second. I'm on the wrong one. Here we go. That's the Spanish version. All right, let me put this English version up. So some people could read it, some couldn't. All right, here it is. All right. Okay, look, this is Claire HP heading. This is why, see right here, obtaining an environmental license in Larimar. See, I don't know what this means. I know what it means to me. If I'm in the USA, this just means it's an environmental, a report that I need to give them and let them know what I'm going to do, what my intent is, how I'm going to make sure I don't make the citizens have to pay more money because I'm not asking for tax cuts or tax breaks. So I have to let them know if I put 2,000 people down here and I want to build something, they need to know the lay of the land. They need to know where everything is, what my intentions are, and they got to approve it. So that's why this language throws me off, because it's an environmental license and I don't understand. The Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources has issued on July 16th the relevant environmental license. Okay, that's great. In favor of the subsidiary of Claire HP Engineering and Structures of the Caribbean Intercar SRL. Okay. That's interesting. It has a duration of 5 years. I don't, and its content is published attached to this relevant information. Okay. Now, in Muir said, okay, no signed signatures, no stamps. Okay, that's great. But I'm going to roll down here first before we even start. This is 20-some pages. So again, look at this. There's no signed signature nor stamp. Clearly, this looks like an electronic form of some sort with the QR coding, but I don't see anybody signing this. I see a name, Miguel Sierra Hatton, Minister of Environment and Natural Resources. So somebody's going to have to help me out, or I'll know by Friday. All right. So I'm just doing this because I wanted people to know that there is something out that potentially could mean good news. All right. Having reviewed, yes, look, they're using my terms, environmental impact study. This is what I'm talking about. So that's what this is. Okay. Presented by the beneficiary. Okay. Company. Okay. We know. Recorded minutes, environmental license. So, okay, they are issuing the license, environmental impact. So that means it shows everything. Where, location, fine. Again, remember I told you environmental impact means if you plan on building 30,000 or 30,000 people is going to live there, a golf course, hotels, beach clubs, downtown with a mall and all that. We need to know how this is going to impact. Now, there's some news here that I find very interesting. This says 3.5 million square meters. That's very interesting. And I'm going to say, and maybe most people won't realize why. All right. ATL3371, welcome on Instagram. I appreciate it. The reason why I'm going to say something about this is because if you Google the figure of this I'll just put 3.5 million, 3.5 million times 3.5 million square meters, 2 acres. Now, if this space is literally, if it really is 3.5 million square meters, that comes out to 864 acres. Now, the reason why I say this is significant, I have to give Gennaro a little bit of credit of some sort. He always has been saying, wait, there's good news. Here's something that most people don't realize. This project, at one point, I do not believe it was 3.5 million acres. I mean, 3.5 million square meters. It had to have been less. Why do I say that? Because it was, I believe, around 624 acres before. So I think something changed. Because if it was 800 and some acres, I'd have been a lot more happier. Why? Because my thing about the golf course, if you're going to make this place like it's supposed to be a little middle to upscale, your golf course, 18 holes ought to be badass. And in order to get a PGA qualifying course, you got to be over 200 acres. So, and make it 275, all the better. But all I'm trying to say is your acres have to be a certain number. If you start doing 150, 160, that's just a city type of course. If you want the pros to come, then you got to make 240, 250, 300 acres. It's got to be over 200 for sure. All right. So this is why I find this fascinating. So this is good news. If this is actually, well, it's got to be real. I just don't know what they're claiming is the 3.5 just yet. So that is some interesting news because maybe they're talking about the drive from the street or something. Who knows where this extra footage is coming from? All right. So if something changed that way. Now, look at this. Again, it's a QR. The coordinates are right. Well, you know what's interesting is you can use these coordinates to pull up. And that's very interesting because I'm going to go down here and give some more excitement that I feel is warranted. This right here. See these? These are coordinates. All right. So if you know where these coordinates go, you can check out all of these. There's 33 sets of coordinates. So that's very interesting on that page. And then look, it keeps going. So this is what it should kind of look like. These are actual coordinates of where things are supposed to be. I don't know what they are because there might be another report that is separate. That's why there's numbers. You see these numbers to make it easy on people on a map. So we'll find out more about this later. But all I'm saying is this is pretty good so far, just off of the cuff. We're just basically going. We don't have the full context of anything right now, but this is for sure. They have laid out, look, they've laid out the project and the complex and everything. 30,000 homes, not 30,000 people, 30,000 homes distributed in buildings up to 18 levels. All right. A lot of you who's been longtime Larimar listeners, you guys already know we knew this before. This is what they submitted to the province to get approval 2.5 years ago. Some of you were not privy to it. Some of you, if you missed the videos, I actually showed it. All right. So this is not new, just a slightly different language, because 6 hotels with 2,000 rooms. Beautiful. This right here, I don't know what this means. This says artificial beach at 50 to 60 meters high. The cliff, I thought, was about 100 meters high. So I don't know what this 50 to 60 meters high is. That's the thing. Where is this? The artificial beach? There's some man-made beaches on the cliff, but I thought the cliff was 100 meters high. Is it only 50 or 60 meters high? So that's a little discrepancy right there. So I don't know what the hell's going on with that. All right. That's kind of weird. Smash that like button from Brian P. I appreciate it. If you can't get into the chat room tonight, there's a reason why. Only members with the icon on YouTube can get in the chat room. If you're listening to this on podcast afterwards, well, you can chat amongst yourself or come to our chat room. The podcasts that allow you to have a description down below, you'll find the link to where you can find our WhatsApp group, just like down below on any other platform. Instagram, you're listening, you can go to our WhatsApp group and welcome yourself in, and I'll get you in. All right. Or join us on Friday. I'll be talking about this with more knowledge. This is interesting. Here you go. Mediterranean style promenade. I told you that EU zone is sweet. All right. EU, the European, it's sweet when you're start talking about a promenade. That is sick. 1.8 miles is 3 kilometers, just so everybody knows. 18-hole golf course and country club still intact. Hospital, wellness, weekends, and gym. I don't know what weekends mean. Various central parks with leisure and sports areas. School, university, office area, casino, restaurants and bars, shopping center. This is downtown area, so that appears to still be intact. Small business and commercial areas, which are going to be around the beach clubs, green areas, paved streets, sidewalks and curbs, parking, renewable energy system. That's going to be sweet. Maybe that's also the extra acreage. I hope it is, because that is needed in the DR, man. Quite frankly, I don't even understand why builders aren't putting in solar systems for their owners, because it's disturbing how much SEPN charges people. All right. We need to have the index fund SPY, VOO, QQQ, SCHD on hand during the lowering of interest rates in September. This will make these take off. Exactly, Victor Morero. This is the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. If you still haven't downloaded anything from the stock market, down below in the description box, use Robinhood or Webull. Oh, in fact, that just reminds me, I'm supposed to have Mumu on board also, but you get your free stocks when you download, and you get free stocks when you upload on Webull. On Robinhood, you just get one free stock right now. There's no other promotion. Webull, they have something crazy. 20, 30 free fractional shares. And if you put in $1 or more, you get some more free shares. So download both. Why not? Get involved. Get your brokerage account. It's an app. It's in the description box down below. Please make use. Very good things to talk about. I got the notification and saw the trailer. Brian P., thank you so much, man. That's 3 people. And make sure you smash the like button. And please subscribe to the channel if you like what we're talking about. We are making money in here. How do we make money? You buy pre-construction. That's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's go. Eric, hold on. What's this? Hey, Eric, check out your emails. All right, man, I will. I didn't check them out today. I've been, like I say, under the weather a little bit, even though, that happens. Not too often. But, it was a little more I thought it was a little more serious this time. I was a little more concerned. I just got to tell you. All right, hold on. Before I get into this, Eric, it seems Larimar got the green light. I think it will make sense to give them a few months and see the actual ground progress they make. Yeah, Victor Morero, that's what it is. I don't know what it is either. It seems like a green light, but as you saw, it says it's environmental impact report. To me, that's not permits. But don't worry, there's some language about permits in here, apparently. So there's something going on. Jonay, it appears there's an environmental situations that developers have to request and receive a license for. That's exactly right, Jonay. So let me give some people a little rumors. At one time, and it still may be, there were rumors that there was a dump up here. If there's a dump that was on that cliff anywhere in those 3 kilometers, you will need toxic cleanups. You'll need all kind of stuff. You will need an environmental license. So that may be true then. The rumor might have been true. I don't know if that was ever true. I never confirmed it, but that was one of the rumors. So that would mean they would have had to deal with environmental cleanup of some sort. So that's a good thing. Now, but what I'm looking at does not appear to be a permit, meaning let's go. That's what I don't see yet. So we'll have this all sorted out by Friday. No telling what's buried under the dirt and land. Exactly, Jonay. That's one of the things. But if there was a dump up there somewhere, they know what's up there. So that means you have to clean that up. Just like in any city in America, if there's any toxic waste, remember the military bases that closed and there was toxic waste or toxic land, and when they cleaned it up, they had to send in crews that would have to clean up the toxic chemicals at their best ability. That's the same similar kind of thing. So that could be what's happening here. Not too hard to figure out that way. All right. Now, this is very interesting. Infrastructure of basic services. Remember this right here. Now, I'm a little shocked that it doesn't mention the actual basic services. See, this right here would have been more helpful if we would have seen something like sewer. Because then if they would have said sewer, that would have been much better than hearing this right here, infrastructure and basic services. Because if they're not saying sewer, then maybe they're running things off of a septic situation, which, that's kind of crazy. And it would have been nice to hear some others, electrical, underground, or, something, roads, underground parking, above ground parking, that kind of thing versus just parking. You follow what I'm saying? So this tends me to believe that this is not what this first page is, or second page is not a license to build. All right, here we go. The environmental license will be valid for 5 years as long as the promoter fully complies with the conditions established in the attached provisions. Ooh, now, which form an integral part of the environmental license and supported by the rules and regulations established in law. General environment, natural resource. Okay, established 85. Let's see what else we have. Okay. Oh, hold on. This is important. Okay, promoter 1, assume administrative, civil, and criminal responsibilities for any damage caused to the environment and natural resource. This is something different. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. There's some resources or there's something that is supposed to be preserved, it looks like. This right here, for any damage caused to environment and natural resources, there might be some natural resources underneath. That's interesting. Look, if these damages are products of the violation of terms established in the environmental license, you must assume the pertinent legal and economic consequences. Oh my. 2, observe the provisions established in the current special rules and regulations. 3, execute environmental management and adaptation program. 4, allow environmental inspection by the competent authorities. This costs extra money. If there's an environmental situation where, let's just say what happens in the Northwest California, you can't just chop down any old tree. And in a lot of states, you can't chop down trees. You want to have these 100 acres and you want to build residential neighborhood, you got to leave those up. Otherwise, you're going to be paying some hefty penalties, or maybe we'll just stop you from building the damn thing. All right. So that's very important. Now, If you guys aren't able to get any of this, Smooth Flows in the house, that's Mo. That's right. I outed you, Mo. Welcome to the SSN Nation on Instagram. All right. Now, this is very important. I didn't get down to this first page. This is great. This looks like they're laying down what has to be done. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. It is the responsibility of the promoter to comply with all terms and conditions of environmental license. I'm not going to go through all of this. What I'm going to do is, I left the link in the chat room already. It's something you can download. It's going to be in Spanish, I believe. I'm going to put another one in the chat room. You can download it. Then you can go to Google Docs to translate. Google Translate documents. You can upload it. And that's how I got it translated, just so you know, all right? So now I'm going to go through this a little faster because I'm not going to read about the environmental, but I will go with some of that paragraphs. The environmental license is exclusive for the works indicated above. Wow. The sponsor will submit to this ministry any change in technology. Wow. Substantive incorporation of new works, transfer, modification, or expansion of the project in compliance with the environmental impact assessment process. Oh, wow. Okay. This is going to be long. The promoter in its capacity is responsible for the project, work, or activity for which this environmental license has been granted. Will be unconditionally obliged to observe, respect, and comply fully and effectively with a set of environmental regulations. Yeah, there's something up there for sure. Whether it's the trees, whether it's something, I don't know. The promoter will ensure protected areas. What did I tell you? Yeah, this is as well as all regulation standards. So there's something up there that is they feel that's environment that needs to be protected. That's interesting. That's definitely, they're on it. The environmental license is not replaced in any of its parts, any permit. Oh, this is it. This environmental license did not replace any of its parts, any other permit required by sectoral institutions for the execution of the project. In this order, it is the responsibility of the promoter to have the corresponding permits and authorizations. There we go. So again, this isn't permits. Okay, fine. We knew that. So this is what I thought from the get, environmental impact study, which in the DR apparently need a license, and they got to approve it. Now they're saying what I would say, now I got to go down and get permits. Okay, so Victor Marrero, we know they can't build just based off of this. They got to go get permits. Joel Nolasco, he's still here. And Mo Better, Smooth Flow, which is Mo, his alter ego. What's up, E? What's up, SSN Nation? You know, man, trying to break this thing down a little bit. Trying to break down the Larimar situation because this is going to get people a little bit excited. But again, when Larimar hasn't released it officially on their website or on their Instagram, I'm skeptical because this is not a permit as we just saw. So now we know this is not giving us a permit, a license. This is not a permit. That's all this means. We're not building a foundation so far after we get to page, what page are we on? 3? What page is this? Page 4. We haven't gotten there. They said explicitly, you have to have corresponding permits and authorizations. The violation of any of the provisions contained in this environmental license will imply the application of sanctioning measures. Oh, including the confiscation and or seizure of objects, instruments, artifacts, vehicles, and raw materials. The prohibition or temporary suspension of activities, and in extreme case, partial or total closure of the premises or establishment where the activity that has been generated the violation of the environmental license. Oh, this sounds like Cali. This sounds like Cali. You're gonna be screwed. Go on and knock down any old tree, and you find out later that this is some sort of tree that's not supposed to be knocked down. Some some birds that you're killing off on your land that's freaking protected, go on and play around. Considering general law environment, August 18, 2000. All right. So now we're down to page 5. We'll go to 6. All right. That in accordance, the environmental permit and license obliges whoever is granted it to assume administrative. Okay, this is a repeat. The recommendations made by the technical evaluation committee. Oh, hold on now. Hold on. Who's got this? Who's got the view, the recommendations? Where's those? Made by the technical evaluation committee as recorded in the minutes number 23-224 dated June 19, 2024. That doesn't have any number to it. Where is that technical evaluation committee? I want to see it, because that means the recommendations are there, but that does not mean they have to adhere to any recommendations. But I want to see what they say. Where is it? Joel Nolasco, if you're here. Mo, he's pretty good at this too. If anybody's here, please find this technical evaluation committee recommendation list that was recorded in minutes number 23-2024 dated June 19, 2024, and the validation committee, who has a recorded minutes number 12-2024 June 21, 2024. The results of the environmental assessment process completed with the ministry. Okay, recorded in the administrative file. Hopefully it's in this report. That would be sweet. All right. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do as investors. Once you get information, you should actually check it out, especially if you plan on investing there or you are an investor there. This is what you should be doing. I don't want to hear from the promoter. I don't want to hear from a real estate agent, because they might throw their twist. I want to see what the recommendations were, because it's going to be very interesting, only because I just want to see from an outside source what they say. All right, first issue, environmental license. We're on page 6 out of 19. Okay, Jose Romero Hernandez name, Pedro Jose Romero Hernandez name is all over this. This is interesting. All right, we're back to the wellness, the various central parks. I don't know why we're back to that. Oh, they're breaking it down. Okay, I see what they're doing now. The first, then they show everything. I get it. Second, provisions are integral part of environmental license. Okay. Third, promoter undertakes. Oh, okay. This is important. The promoter undertakes to present every 6 months, starting from the issuance of this environmental license, to the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources of the environmental management. Okay, they got to submit something every 6 months. That's not what I was hoping for. Failure to deliver the environmental compliance reports within the established deadlines without prejudice to the other conditions set forth in the provision constitutes cause for cancellation and non-renewal of environmental license. Woo. Okay. I don't know if every project goes by this, but every 6 months, they got to do a report. And I'm assuming that report's going to be public. And I'm also going to assume if they don't submit the report, they're DOA afterwards. This is pretty serious. All right. I like it, though. It's strict. So if they are building and things start getting off the ground, this is going to be one hell of a thing. The promoter will collaborate with the environmental compliance inspection. We already knew that. The promoter will inform the individual project promoters located within the project development area about the license. Okay, we know about that. The promoter will be responsible for clearly and unequivocally establishing, informing in detail the individual promoters to whom transfers for sale or lease land located within the project area. What does that say? Let me read this again. The promoter will be responsible for clearly and unequivocally establishing and informing in detail the individual promoters to whom transfers for sale or lease land located within the project area, the environmental requirements established in the provisions, and you must notify in writing the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources about sales or lease actions of land located within the area of. Oh, that's interesting. That is very, very good. Very, very interesting. I like it. I like it. This also, like I said, again, I'm just going to say this again for everybody who just showed up. All right. Okay. Everybody that just showed up, I put something in the chat room that you can download. That's a link to this PDF. It's a Spanish. I wouldn't be surprised if bones are found or other objects of protected animals. That's it. I know, Joe Nay, that's probably what's going to happen. I mean, it used to be open areas, farmland and stuff. So I'm pretty sure there has to be something there. Chopping up animals is for one thing, I'm thinking, right? Chopping up something there's going to be up there as possible. And hopefully it's not some sort of ceremonial land up there as well. That would be bothersome. All right. The promoter in its capacity responsible for the project, work, or activity for which the environmental, I'll just call it what do we want to call environmental? EIS. We'll call it that. EIS, environmental impact. All right, EIS. The promoter will ensure full compliance. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going up to page 9. The promoter undertakes and respects and comply at each stage, phase, and development of the project, work, or activity approved by EIS, all laws, regulations. Okay, we know that. In the event of modification, renewal of environmental authorization is required. If there's any modification, then they have to go ask for renewal? Wow. The promoter undertakes to respect and comply with all normative. Ooh. Okay. This is interesting. So if they need to modify something, they have to go back to them. That's paragraph 1 on page 9. These provisions are binding, and non-compliance may result in revocation. Okay, so they can't do anything without some sort of approval when they start moving stuff around. So this is why I criticize them greatly about not moving anything damn around if I own the land. Now we know why they can't own the land. I mean, they couldn't move anything around. They needed this. Why didn't they just tell people that they needed an environmental impact report? I guess EIR. Why didn't we just say they needed an EIR? Why wouldn't they just tell people? I don't understand. All right. Anyhow, so they couldn't just go up there and start moving stuff around if you need a license. So this explains everything regarding that. So why did they? Okay, the sponsor will apply all to the prevention, control, mitigation, compensation measures of impacts. All right. Best practices to establish hydrological zoning, prioritizing wetland areas, water production areas, biodiversity conservation, among others, and guaranteeing a mandatory protection strip of 30. Oh, they have an easement of 30 square meters on both banks and river currents, as well as around lakes, lagoons, and reservoirs. 30 meters. Isn't that like, okay. Is that like, that's 100 feet. So if you do a man-made, what does this mean? They're saying there's mandatory, you have to have 30 square meters. This water situation now might change. Also, hydrological zoning, I don't know what that means. Wetland areas, I don't know if there's wetlands up there. And that means you have to have 100 feet around it, as well as around lakes, lagoons, and reservoirs. So, okay, I don't know what this means. Because if you're talking about 100 feet around the beach clubs, that would be around lakes, lagoons, and reservoirs. And I don't know what beach clubs, what those man-made beach areas are going to be called. If you need 100, that's a lot of square meters. That's a lot of meters. That's a huge distance. Pools aren't even 100 feet. The sponsor undertakes to preserve, transplant within the project area the species included in the red list of endangered, threatened, or protected species. Oh, man. Oh man. Okay. Cool. Um, First environmental compact import forestry plan. The promoter will notify and coordinate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, they got their work cut out for them. Oh my God. They're killing them. The sponsor undertakes to execute a revegetation plan in the project development area. Are you kidding me right now? This plan will include the planting of endemic and native species of the area in question. Likewise, it will implement the necessary measures to prevent unnecessary cutting of vegetation. Oh my God. Well, I'm going to say two things. It's going to be one hell of a beautiful place. I don't know what native species are up there or endemic species are up there, but this is going to be interesting. The sponsor will guarantee that the green areas will be greater than 8% of the total area of the project. Okay, 3.5 million. Okay, 864 acres, if that's what it is. Just call it 10%. That'd be 86 acres. That's a lot of green area. That's good. All right. Comply with, here's what the 17th, the promoter will comply with the dumping of debris or garbage is prohibited in karst areas, river and stream channels, caves, sinkholes, land depressions, and drains. I don't know if a lot of you have homes that were built in like the 90s in the ATL area. Because of all the trees, they allowed people or the developers to dig holes, and they would cut down the trees and they would fill the holes with the trees they cut down. Fast forward 20, 25, 30 years later, what starts happening? People walk out, they have sinkholes because the trees deteriorated and, termites and whatever else ate away the wood. So now you have a big hole. That's why a lot of people in ATL area have sinkholes in their yard. All right. So they're already, this is, so now you can't throw garbage in the caves, can't throw garbage in the sinkhole, land depressions, no garbage, nothing down the drains. Okay. I like what I'm reading here. The destruction, degradation, impairment, or reduction of natural ecosystems and species of wild flora and fauna is prohibited, as well as the collections of specimens of flora and fauna without having the due authorization of the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources. This is almost like protected land. Everything. Endangered species, endangered fauna. You can't just chop all this up. Oh, man. Oh, my. This is interesting. So, again, I have a little concern. I'm going to get back on screen here for a second. Let me see what other people are saying. I don't like this. There is no written history prior to the arrival of European settlers, but it's believed that people have been living on the island for thousands of years. Hey, Jonay. Yes, people have been living on the island for thousands of years. This is true. If people don't know American world history, let's call it, it's American history as well. America already had people here. All right. North, South, Central were already here. If you go and study history from around the world, you'll find out where some people could pick up, like Genghis Khan could have been in the U.S. on North American, whether it's Mexico or North American soil. We're talking about Africans could have been on North American soil. The Vikings on North American soil. This is what so this thing about, yeah, like he's saying, the European settlers and the French and the Spaniards and all these guys showing up, in 1500s or whatever, 1400s, 1300s. There was people already here, clearly, because in their journals, they're writing people were already here. And you think they somehow bypassed or didn't go on boats and find islands? Come on now, let's get real. All right, enough of that. All I want to say is You guys don't understand. This right here is why, if they are, I don't know Dominican rules, but if they are strict on this environmental EIR, environmental impact report, if they're strict, like if we're in Cali or in the Northwest or in any area that protects their wildlife and fauna in North Carolina and places like uh, this gets serious. Because and he's an investor. EY's an investor. He knows where I'm going. This is when you start talking about 800 acres, and all of a sudden you find flora and endangered species on your land, and you have to systematically take time to get them and move them to another location. I mean, this is this is E White saying it. Eric, Larimar looks like one huge bag of red tape. See, E. White already knows when I started reading that. He knows what this means. Most of the time, hold on. Let me preface all this. I don't know if there is any wild flora or fauna. You see where I'm going with this? We don't know if there are any endangered species. We don't know if there's any rivers or lakes or anything in this 800 acres plus. We don't know what's up there. Now, we do have a couple of people that have done aerials, and from the aerials, we don't know what's underneath the trees. There may be water up there. We don't know what's up there. They may just be putting this in here as just on every EIR report, meaning that it doesn't matter who the builder is. If you find this stuff, you can't just kill it. Either you have to do revegetation, or you're going to have to figure out some other way to build, because we're not going to allow you to build over it. So that's one of these things. And we're not going to allow you to build within 130 meters of any lakes or water or caves and all this stuff. This is crazy. The sponsor will guarantee that the materials from the Earth's crust to be used in construction phase of the project come only from companies authorized by the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources. Are you kidding me? Will guarantee that the materials from the Earth's crust must be used in the construction phase of the project come only. Oh my God. Well, now I guess this right here, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. I'm just going to tell you guys something right now. When I was in May with Larimar, there's something I kind of went over. This little thing right here is a provision that when you read this, we have a lot of investors here. If somebody told you when you got your permits and they gave you this instruction saying you will guarantee that the materials from Earth's crust to be used, what does that mean? In the construction phase of the project come only from companies authorized by the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources. What does that mean? What does this mean? All right. So when I was there, they gave me something that can roll out like a carpet that has to do with this earth crust kind of thing. I don't know what it is, but they said something to the effect of, we solved our problem. All right. So this right here is interesting that they would say that in this report. And it's also interesting that they were having some sort of special coral that is indigenous to Dominican Republic that they can use on the ground. So I don't know if this has something to do with it, but I just thought it was weird that they pointed that out. And now that I see this on this report, I'm like, that's interesting. All right. Inform the ministry, La Altagracia, at the time of starting the construction and operation phase of new components of the project, and will allow visit of technicians from the Ministry of due inspections. Okay, we still haven't got to permits yet. All right, where's the permits at? Mo, where's the permits at, man? I need permits. The sponsor will inform the Ministry of Natural Resource, EIR, and will notify the risk and emergency prevention and management institutions. Okay. 21st, we're up to page 11 of 19. Apply measures that control and mitigate the environmental impacts caused by atmospheric emissions, noise management, that's standard. Hazardous waste, non-hazardous waste, wastewater discharges, all this is standard. You got to have everything in place for pollutants and all that. So, and in fact, here we go. Air quality, regulation, control emissions of atmospheric pollutants, fixed environmental technology regulations. Okay, understood. The promoter will request modification and authorization. Hold on a second. The sponsor will implement all necessary measures aimed. Okay, I just realized this sponsor thing here, the promoter. Okay, the promoter does have to deal with the ecosystems. The sponsor, who is, where did I read that again? 10. The sponsor. Oh, the sponsor. That's interesting. These guys have people checking things out too. Okay, so there's going to be, there's some people up there checking things out. It was not the promoter that has to do stuff. The sponsor also is going to be on property checking things out for this fauna and endangered species and things like that. That's interesting. They're not just going to take somebody's word. There's none. The promoter will request a modification of its authorization, changes in technology, expansions, remodeling of infrastructure, expansion. Jesus Christ. Notice everything, if they want to alter, they got to go through these guys first, the EIR. That's crazy. There must be something up there. The developer will establish a schedule for development of work during the construction process, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays until 1, no Sundays and holidays. So that means 6 days a week. Now everybody understands if you have this type of program, that's interesting. They use the word developer in this case. The sponsor, who is EIR, undertakes to place a road signage system and will apply control measures for the proper management of vehicular traffic in the area. There we go. Okay, well, there we go. The sponsor will be responsible for properly removing the waste generated, debris, and equipment used in the construction process. I got to go back up to the top. Why am I going back up to the top? Because we have a problem. Not a problem. It's just they're using these words, promoter, and they started saying sponsor. And I didn't see the sponsor part. See, here's promoter, and they're using sponsor a lot more. So I'm trying to figure out, I thought the sponsor might be the EIR department, and there's no other language for sponsor up here up top. Okay, so I missed it where they changed up on me. Here's promoter. Here's promoter. I have not read this. I'm just glossing through this because otherwise we'll be here for hours. So I'm just skipping through here. Promoter, sponsor. This is the first time I don't see where they establish a sponsor. They say the sponsor will apply. Who's the promoter? I don't see sponsor anywhere until they start talking about sponsor. Does anybody see sponsor? We're on page 6 right now. There's nothing that establishes sponsor. Oh, wait. Considering that the sponsor, okay. Prepared and presented the required. Oh. Are they talking about there's a real sponsor? Okay. Requested the sponsor. Here we go. The ministry requested the sponsor to present an EIR. Is this like a real sponsor? Because they're not establishing. Look, promoter. Okay, there's more to this. Okay, so there's a sponsor. Interesting. I need those minutes. We need those minutes. They're using language that they never established what a sponsor is. But it looks like, just like if you sponsor a immigrant to come into the country or H-1B1 visa type things, you are the sponsor. If you marry, bring a person from another country into the U.S. and you marry them as a U.S. citizen, you're a sponsor for X amount of years, just so you guys know. All right. So maybe this is what they have there too. I don't know what this language of sponsor means. Maybe somebody knows here, because this looks like the sponsor is also part of the promoters team, and the sponsor is being held responsible for other things. So this is very interesting. I didn't see a sponsor. The sponsor will implement a program for use of valuation of byproducts, wood, metals, plastic. We're almost done. The promoter undertakes to present a record of its environmental indicators that demonstrate compliance. Okay. The sponsor will take the following risk and contingency control measures during the construction and operation stage of the project. Okay. Standard issues, fire extinguishers, hydrants, and fire hoses in strategic locations. Place the systems plans and evacuation route necessary for cases. Sponsor will carry out maintenance of the fire systems. That's interesting. All right, let me see if I have anybody that's thrown something in. Nope, nobody's thrown anything in there. Anybody else thrown anything in here? Let's see. Larimar looks like a bag of red tape. Yeah, man. I will agree with that until I got to figure out what this actually really means. The sponsor will carry out pest controls periodically. Now they're using developer will execute energy saving programs. The sponsor will guarantee that the hotel and housing projects to be executed within the project are designed incorporating technology and systems for water reuse. The treatment system, reuse of treated water and use of rainwater. Okay, that means there has to be a treatment system up there. And if you're going to have 30,000 homes, you're going to need one hell of a treatment system. Those homes are called condos, 17 floors. Or maybe one day they'll build an 18-floor condo project. But if you start adding things up, 18, 17 floors, 16 floors times 6, right? So, you start getting into that. What is that? 96? I think that is 96, 100 units in a building in theory. And you have, let's just go prime towers, 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 400 people. In theory, homes, 400 homes. But how many people live in them? Now that's a whole nother story, right? 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms because of penthouses. All right. Sponsor will implement occupational safety measures. We know that. The sponsor will have medical facilities with first aid with the necessary equipment for emergency cases that may occur in the development of other operations, as well as the means of transportation. Oh my, for the transfer to the nearest health centers. Okay, great. Damn, this is costly. Man, on standby? I don't think I've ever seen any development that actually had emergency services kind of like standing by. Maybe they just mean there has to be a van there or something. I don't know. That's interesting. The promoter will formally present the request for renewal of this environmental license to the ministry. Okay, renewals in 5 years. This application, here's what threw me off when I read this earlier. This application must be submitted within a period of no less than 6 months. That kind of threw me off. So again, we'll know more on Friday. The promoter will provide performance bond in favor of the ministry. Oh, $1 million. $1 million. Well, 936. Oh, wait, hold on. It's pesos. Okay, so they have to give a bond for 936,000 RD. Okay, that's not $1 million. Let's go look. What is it? 900. What is that? 960,000 to DOP to US. What is it? That can't be right. That's $16,000. Is that right? Is this for real? 936,000 DOP? Really? Really? Okay, that is only $16,213. Okay, that's not like, that's a performance bond? Okay. to comply with the development of the EIR, Environmental Management and Adequacy Program, which must remain valid during the period. So is this every year or just one time? That's cheap for a multi-million-dollar project. All right. All right. Reserves the right to grant general law, natural resources. All right. The sponsor will submit any change in technology, which we've already established, the violations. All right. So once again, I have nobody signing this. I just have Miguel Sierra Hatton, Minister of Environment and Natural Resources. That's him. So where's the permits? All right, we're on page 15. Then I have coordinates, which I don't know what these really go to, but there's probably a book with where these numbers correlate, which would be a lot more helpful, right? So we're on 17, 18. Now we're on 19. Given in the city of San Domingo, National District, 16th of July, 2024. And again, Miguel Sierra Hatton, Minister of Environment and Natural Resources. Okay, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this is not permits. They have to go get permits. Mo actually sent me over something saying something about permits. I don't know where he got it from. I don't know. I don't see permits here. I don't see permits. Hold on a second. I'm going to do something. Make sure you smash that like button. If you like what we're talking about so far, this is about Larimar City and Resort. It's investing, streams of income. If you like Airbnb, short-term rentals, we do real estate investing. Pre-construction means no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. It's that simple. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little, let's go to the brand, a little, let me see. Do I have, let me see. I almost erased all Larimars from here. Let me see if I have any Larimar videos. Well, not really. I don't think I do. I have something. No, let's see here. I almost erased all of them. So I have something night view, but it's just going to be a nice little, it's just a video. It's not like, this would have looked at night when we were there. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds. So let's see. They have a little pavilion there. If you haven't been up there, most people know about it already. So check this out. All right, Joel Nolasco, if you're watching this, hit me up, please. Hold on a second. He sent me something. Okay, we got. Yeah. I know about that. Yeah, I know. Okay. All right, Joel Nolasco. Just so you know, Claire HP is not a proven builder. Claire HP, which is like in a car as well, they're not in the DR is what I'm saying. They build around the world, but what I'm saying is this is and they've helped other projects but they're only building their structure. Like Rumors, I'll give Rumors at this point. Oceana, part of River Island, part of Ocean Bay. All these are condos projects. Some things in Cap Cana. But again, they're just their structures. They're not the interiors. There's not the whole plumbing and electrical and things like that. From what I understand, it's only the structure work, the gray area, the gray work, as we call it, the cement. Because in DR, everything should be cement, right? So the cement building that you all see, and then after that, they go bye-bye. Larimar is their baby that they're supposed to be doing the whole thing. And I'm pretty sure they're going to subcontract out. But nonetheless, that's what I'm saying. So Joel Nolasco, and it might have been Mo, because those two I've been in contact with today. They say you can look up permits. So now what people are assuming is that they can start building right now. I don't assume that from after reading this and going over it. This means these guys have to get a permit and they have to mind their P's and Q's about anything and everything. I mean, I don't even, this is like wild. I got to know if trees, this whole, just think of a whole area of trees and fauna. And now I got to know, are all these trees allowed to be removed? Are they all the same? What about the fauna around here? Is this all good? I'm thinking it probably is, but what if it isn't? But we have to actually make sure. And if there is some of the endangered fauna and landscape there, I have to revegetate. That means I have to put it somewhere else in the green area, right? I mean, that's what it seems like I would have to do. That is a serious undertaking. If we don't know, Larimar should probably do a video. Seriously. I mean, now that they can actually go out there and start showing people the land and start doing aerials and start doing this, that, and the other, they should actually just go out there and be like, hey, want to let you guys know, I figured we'd go over a few of the acres and look at what we found out here. Because my opinion, it increases the value. A lot of people may not think it increases the value. It increases the value. If you have endangered species on your property and you have acres, remember, they're saying you have to have 100 feet around any water. It seems like, I don't know about the pools and all that, but you got to have 100 feet. How awesome is it to be like North Carolina, South Carolina? I don't know how many of you have been to the beach in those states where they have the little dunes, and in South Georgia, like Savannah, why people love that is because there's like fauna and wildlife that before you get to the water is sometimes 100 feet, 200 feet, and you're actually meandering around on the walkways. And in Savannah area, they actually have a season for bird watching and things like that, that brings in people that pay more money during that time of season. How many people know about Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge coming up in about 2 months for about, what is that, September and October? People go there. So this is something that actually ends up being in your favor to bring a higher end customer clientele, because there are people that do bird watching, that want to see endangered species, that want to see flora, especially if it's endangered in any way. People will come. Just letting people know this is a thing. So actually, if there is something up there, they should be putting a big smile on their face. Yes, it may be a headache if there's a lot of it and we got to move it because we can't build what we wanted to build. But at the same time, if it's not in the way, it's going to be seriously a good thing. Byzantine Red, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. I love seeing you once again here, man. Thank you so much for being in the house. Hey, thanks. Yeah, man, you're welcome. Glad you're in the house. All right. Yeah, we still got the members on Twitch. Thank you for being here, man. All right. Let's get into some other avenues of real estate investing and investing in streams of income. Because again, I want people to understand if they do have, and that's why if they do have it, I highly suggest these guys at Larimar, man. Hopefully they went down there all excited, brought a crew, bought some filming crew or photo crew and started going, yeah, man. And they may be going, oh man, we can't put towers here. But what they're going to do is they're not going to say, oh man, we can't put towers here. You know what they're going to do? They're going to have to do the revegetation. They'll say, man, we're going to put towers here. Okay, well, you're going to have to move it out. You're going to have to put it on another section. All right. But yeah, that costs additional money and time. But the point I'm trying to make is the value for having that in this environment. You're not just you're on a cliff, right? Fresh air. So this could turn into a great thing if there's endangered species there. And you decide to make it like somewhat of a habitat area because it's a green area anyhow. You can't really do anything. So you just leave it like it is. Somewhat like by the lake in Michis, Lemon. All right. They have the same rules. You can't do anything. It's 100. In fact, it's 100 feet, just like this, from the water, and you can't mess with the fauna. And the fact that you can't mess with the fauna, they have a rule in place. If you want to build a boat dock, it has to be wood. And it has to be a certain wood. You cannot use cement, which makes it where people aren't going to be probably building a dock because you have to have 100 feet of walking on a wooden dock, so to speak. And then to park your boat, you have to make it all wooden. So the upkeep on wooden is pretty serious when you have salt water. Let's get real. So you can't put cement. So that's why there's no dock right now in that lake, even though that lake is huge. Because if they allowed you to put cement there, that whole place would have already changed into a resort area. The lake is huge. So this is some of the same things. They have a fauna situation that they're protecting there. So they keep it 100 feet. All right. You can't do anything, but you could build a pathway for a dock out past that. That's all they would allow. So yeah, that stuff I do know about. And that's what they're probably going to be dealing with here. If there is actual fauna that needs to be protected, or flowers or trees or anything like trees are easy. You can always leave a tree, or you can always try to uproot it and move it. High risk. But at least a tree is a much different thing than having a whole field of protected animals and fauna. All right. And florals and all that. That's crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. I don't have any permit here that I can show. Joel Nolasco, please send me a text if you actually have a permit that you can actually go pull up. I want to know about it. And I don't think they got their permit wait. First of all, I don't think you can get a permit. Let's say we got the approval yesterday or 5 days ago. I don't think you can get a permit in 3 days or 4 days. So that means right now, the only thing that I can do is start hunting on all this. 800 acres is a lot. If they haven't been doing this already, Jesus Christ, that's a lot to actually be walking and having inspectors and all these guys checking out all that acreage. Hopefully they've been doing that over the last 6 months because they know what the EIR needs. So hopefully they already been there, checked it out, know what's happening, have a plan. And then are we still going to have to wait on permits? All this would be nicely addressed if we had Larimar or somebody that would come up and come here and talk. Shunda Boo, welcome on Instagram. So if somebody would come and talk from Larimar, you can come in the house and talk about the real deal stuff now, not the fantasy stuff. We can actually talk apples to apples because we know there's an EIR report, is what I'm calling an environmental impact report. And now we know you have to get permits, and we know permits, I believe, are public record. So now there's no more maybe, coulda, shoulda, woulda, nothing. If people don't see permits trying to be executed and getting approval, which I don't know during approval process if you can check. Joel Nolasco, please let me know. Or Mr. De La Cruz, let me know. Or any of the builders that's listening, developers, let me know. All right. You guys know my email, support@stopstrugglingnow.com, support@stopstrugglingnow.com. And a lot of you have my WhatsApp. So hit me up. Let me know, because since I didn't go through the building process, I don't actually really know how the time frames work. So I got an EIR impact report approval stamped. Now I'm thinking now I can get permits, but that does not mean a permit will be granted 3 days from now or 5 days from now or 1 month from now. So what does that mean? Does that mean we have to wait 3-4 months? Larimar, let us know. So that may explain why I don't see anything on their Instagram, or maybe they posted something on their website, which I don't even know if that's their website. But that would be very interesting and information that we need to know. If you're an investor there, you would like to know, right? Come on, smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you're thinking. If you can't get into the chat room, join us on WhatsApp. All right? I'll put the WhatsApp link in the chat room once again on all platforms so everybody can see it. So make sure you contact. If you become a member of the WhatsApp group, just keep in mind, anything you see. So, in fact, me and Joel was talking about this. Okay. Nah, it doesn't say. In fact, I got his thing, man. Hopefully he's still watching. Yeah, we were talking about that's what I was asking about earlier. Permits are usually for separate stages in USA. But here it clearly says you need permits. So this does not grant the automatic right to start building. So where are the permits? That's what we want to know. That's what's up next. So this is already cleared some. Oh, wait, hold on. He gave me something. Hold on. He gave me. Oh, no, this is. Okay, I don't know what this is. He sent me something that's 803 pages. Yeeks. Okay. I don't know what that is, but that's going to be pretty hefty. That's going to be too much weight. I'm not going to be able to post that. I'm not going to be able to post that environmental report, which is 803 pages. 20 pages is the license to build. Yes. Okay. So where's the permits? Give me a link to check permits. That's what we need next. Anybody that's out there that's familiar with the DR internet, which is going to be in Spanish, let us know. Come back on Friday. I'm actually going to have a live stream on Friday about this when we find out more. But I just want to let everybody get a heads up on, yes, there is some progress. They got an environmental impact report, which I wish they would have said something about this 2 years ago that they needed. Highly unexpected. So therefore, we should have had our payment plans longer, in my opinion, if we knew about all this and we knew about 800 acres. Sheesh. And the agreements you have made with the Environmental Impact Report Agency, that means you have to do some other infrastructure before you even start. Just based on their, and I want to see that recommendation as well, but based on their reporting or what they expect you to report, they want you to do certain things. So that has to be in place before you even start building, before you even have permits in place as well. So they have a lot of work to do. They have a lot of expenditures that just went up, in my opinion. Maybe they had it built in their equation in the first place. Nobody knows. I'm not privy to their economics, but I just don't know what to say at this point. If it's a good thing, a bad thing. A good thing is the EIR did come out. It's approved. They do have the 5-year license. They had to pay 16,960 pesos, Dominican peso bond, which is only $16,000. I don't understand, but okay. So let me know what you guys think. Who can be in the chat room? Others, if you can't be in the chat room, you can always go to Instagram and find us at Stop Struggling Now. Please make sure you follow, and that way you can ask a question there. Okay, I'm leaving it open tonight. Normally it's members only, but that's on YouTube and Twitch. Okay, here we go. Victor Marrero says, you guys should be excited. This was a big hurdle to overcome. Victor Marrero, you're exactly right. That's why people should be excited. But as you very well know, the reason why people aren't really excited is because their payment plan ends for first phase people in 12 months. So therefore, after listening to this EIR, the odds of them being able to build at that time frame is not possible in the first place. But now, like E. White says, if there is endangered species of animal or floral, that has to be addressed. And you can't go forward without approval from EIR agency. The ministry, they have to approve that, okay, you dealt with the situation, you did revegetation, or you moved the species to another habitat area, whatever they require. You're going to have to prove all that before they're going to sign off and let you keep doing something. That's the way I read it, and that's how it works in America. You roll upon some endangered species, shut down. You're not going any further. Where? We got to get this eradicated right now. You can't just keep going. So that's why I'm a little, even though there may not be any species up there, who knows? I don't know. People that live there would know. And unfortunately, there's a lot of farmers up there. And those of you who live in the DR, you guys are lucky. Because you can actually, if I was there right now, I would be excited, like Victor Marrero says. And I would be going tomorrow up to see the farmers. I'd be like, hey, man, is there some endangered trees up here? Is there some endangered species? Is there some flowers or sacred land up here? Is there a lake up here somewhere that we don't know about? You guys know anything about this? Where's the caves at? I'd be asking all these questions. You know anything about it? Is there a cave system underneath this mountain somewhere? I'd be like, what the heck? Because all that has to be dealt with. Everything that has to be dealt with in this environmental impact report, I'd be asking. Anything that has to deal with the environment, I'd be asking them. And if they would know, because they have generations of people that live there, they would know that, oh yeah, over there, that's our sacred whatever. Over there, they know. And all of that has to be dealt with. If you go up, like I go up there and then I go, hey man, is there any caves around here that you know of? And they start saying, yeah, there's several. Well, that means Claire HP is going to have to deal with the caves. I'm just saying, that's in the environmental report. So I don't know how they're going to deal with it, but nonetheless, the conversation with Larimar City, who does not do live streams. I just realized right now, they don't actually tell their investors anything about the process. And if they did, this would have been a biggie right here. So it was probably wise to keep it quiet, because a lot of people would have been snooping around, to find out what's going on. Hey, they got an EIR. it says you can only do this. And just like I said, I'd be going up there to investigating myself. I'd be like, hey, you guys know anything about any flowers up here? Because soon as somebody says, yes, there's stuff up here that resembles what's in this report that they have to deal with, that means the E. White situation. Unfortunately, Victor Marrero, you know what it means. You're in the real estate business. You know what it exactly means. You know good and well that means delay. And so it's great they got approved. It's great. It's actually awesome they got approved. But until we know the ramifications from what's up there, we don't know if they're going to be able to make this whole thing as they envision happen. They may have to take things out, change things a little bit based on the terrain or where things are on those 800 acres. We don't know. So the question would be, if I was still in good graces with Larimar, which I guess I kind of still am, but not, it's what it is. I don't really promote it or talk about them anymore. But it'd be so great if they actually had images of what's underneath the ground and they actually released it. That would be awesome, because then you would give full transparency. You'll be like, scan, just like the sonar. Oh, wait, there is a cliff here. There is some sort of round object. That's an open area down there. How far down and all that. But nonetheless, it'd be nice to see the X-ray, the sonars or whatever they use, LiDAR kind of sonars. So you would have you can see the underground terrain of the land. And if you saw caves, they got to be dealt with. You see rivers underneath, you're not going to be putting 17-story buildings on top of that. You follow what I'm saying? I don't think there's rivers underneath. All I'm saying is there's probably open spaces. It's volcanic rock, and if you know geography or how the earth is formed, that means everything was pushed up in order to create a plateau. So that means what's underneath, that's probably volcanic rock that got pushed up. Unless they do have earthquakes offshore a lot. So sure, any of that could have changed the topography as well. So again, these are the type of things that we as investors, this brings up. I doubt if we're talking about things like in Los Corrales, and they're building like Blue Marina. Blue Marina wants an underground parking garage, which again, on an island, I hate that. But nonetheless, they do have it because it's already there. But they probably had to get an EIR report as well, because the impact report, they're putting X amount of units in a corner in an already area that has a lot of people. When it's tourism time, it implodes 90% more people. And so now you're adding another 200, 300, 400, 500 people that could possibly be there. And you're only in this one little corner of this section on a 2-lane road. I bet they had to do one too. And they probably have to deal with that underground parking situation. And they also going to have to deal with the situation of the sewer, the water, the garbage, and things like that. Not so much the floral and the fauna and all that. They don't have to, because there's none. They don't have yards. They don't even have any green areas. So again, these type of things. But yeah, Victor Marrero, people should be excited. Larimar should have probably, from a PR standpoint, man, who's doing their PR? Jesus. From a PR standpoint, they should have told people a year and a half ago. They should have just told people like a year and a half ago, hey guys, we got to get an environmental impact report done. And there's whatever's up there, such as these items, may have to be dealt with. So there could be a delay. People would understand this. I don't understand why they're not doing that. And I don't understand why they haven't already told people we're going to give you an extension on your contracts. That would have been all goodwill. People would say 2 years more. People would be probably happy. At least they know hey, the environmental impact happened, like Victor Morell's saying. Then they know, hey, we can go get our permits now. Permits may be 3-4 months. So don't expect, in my mind, don't expect them guys bulldozing anything down next week, next month. If they do, that's a bonus. If they don't, it's July, August, September, October. No, I'm not expecting any permit approval for 4 to 6 months. I told you guys that before. So if it's 4 to 6 months and it happens to be December 2024 or January 2025, then we're talking about 2 years, 2.5 years later, minimum, for a few towers to be built and some man-made beaches and things like that. So I wish they'd be more transparent instead of leaving people hanging and not knowing, and people have payments, because that's the worst thing. So I'll know a little bit more. I'm just speculating right now on what this means overall, but everybody should be happy that this EIR report is approved. They should be happy that the license was granted, because if the license wasn't granted, it was DOA. Project wasn't going to happen. So the fact that they have a license for the 5 years, that does not mean they have to build in 5 years. That's 5 years, all right? That the license, they're going to have to renew. What's the renewal cost? Who knows? Now, are you going to be at a timeline to build? Probably. But we are once again at permit stage. I'm thinking. I don't think they were able to get permits before this EIR report. I'm pretty sure they did. I mean, I don't think they did, because if they didn't get the license, then they can't use a permit. So why would you pre-do permits? So again, we have 3, 4, 6 months for permits. Maybe they get fast-tracked, because if this is built, if Larimar City and Resort is built, let's just get this straight. It would be one of the top 5 places to stay in all of the world if they can build it at their configuration that they want it. They change or tweak a few things, like, like the last, let's call it half a kilometer to a kilometer. If they tweak that, probably half a kilometer, and they move the golf course to where you have a couple of holes that oversee the cliff and can see the ocean, and you could actually shoot off of some tees and see the ocean in the background, that would be spectacular. Just saying. And there's a few other modifications I would do, but that's the main one I would do, especially since I'm going to have a clubhouse and I'm going to actually make it a thing, and I can actually make it a PGA course. Hell yeah. Why wouldn't I do that? Just saying. But we will see how this all plays out. And maybe they can get me back on the team. Sure, you can get me back on the team, but I need to see some help. I need to see some love for everybody that's buying. That's what I need to see. I need to see 24-month extensions, 18-month extensions, because if you can't get your permits for another 4 to 6 months, even 3 months, that means you're at August, September, October. So, I mean, you're going to surely surpass everybody's first phase payment plan. And you're going to surpass everybody's second phase payment plan. So why not give everybody some happy news and just say, hey, man, we're just going to give you 24. I requested 18 months. Hell, it should be 24 at this point. You're not building 8 towers in 24 months. That ain't going to happen. Or 28 months or 30 months. Not going to happen. Not 17 stories high. Not going to happen. All right. They keep saying they can do 14 months or whatever. I'm not going to. Nobody here does that. I'm not in the DR. Nobody in the DR does that. All right. Okay. Victor Morell, he looks like he's ready to rock and roll. All right. Here we go. Wait a minute. Writer IQ, welcome. He joined as well. Thank you, everybody. Everybody on Instagram, make sure you go to Instagram, Stop Struggling Now, and follow. Thank you. I'm sure they are watching the videos, Eric. They're not going to extend no one's contract. Yeah, I know, man. I know. I know. Hey, but we can only ask. Hey, you guys know something though? I gotta really say something. You know, they listen. It's not like Jose Juan Andreas, sorry. Juan Andreas, he actually listens. Okay. The crew, they do listen. They're not stupid. They're on the stock exchange in Spain. All right. Their whole thing is to make sure their shareholders are happy and make sure they advance the value of their corporation. One way you advance the value of your corporation is when you make your customers happy. Who's your customer? The investors in the stock and your investors that's buying your buildings to help you build them. That is goodwill. So if you don't think that doesn't work, you have another thing coming, because now think of it this way. Let me see. There's H1 Prime is 4 buildings. That's 5. Paradise 1, Paradise 2, even though Paradise 1, so that's 6. Breeze 7. Let's just say there's 100 people in each building. Well, actually, it's going to be more than 100 people that live there in each building, but let's just say there's 100 units in each building. All right. That means there's 100 owners with families, with friends, whose friends are going, hey, man, you told me about that Larimar thing 2.5 years ago. How's it coming along? Like my friend down here in Jonesboro. I'm like, oh, man, can't talk about it. Not happening. No info. Instead, if they did the right thing, you call people up. I know, right? Writer IQ, I know. You call up and they said something like that. You'll be like, man, it didn't happen yet, but you won't believe this. They gave me like a 24-month extension because they got their EIR report. They got to get their permits. It ain't going to be built. First phase won't be done next year. Well, second phase won't be done in 2026 either. But the point is, they just said 24 months extension, so my payment plan went down to half. So that's the type of stuff. When somebody calls, now everybody's immobilized, telling their friends, yo, man, this is going down. You better get in because the prices, well, you can't get our prices because the prices are gone up. Let's face facts. But if they give similar payment plan, everybody's happy. And now you have new buyers. And now you can say, okay, in 2028, we have some more of the Paradise Towers and some more of the Breeze Towers being built. Some more of the golf course will be done in 2 years, 2.5 years, right? So now instead of 9 holes, you'll have 18 holes. You ain't going to have 9 holes even if they could do next year. You're not going to have it done. It's not going to happen, right? So just imagine everybody will start being invigorated, and you have your new sales force. You'll have I wouldn't look, if these guys have permits, they're actually talking instead of hiding. I'm down, because now we know they got the environmental impact report done. That's what's needed. If we would have known this, I wouldn't even been talking about them at all. I'd have been just telling everybody, hey, man, they got to get their environmental repair. Yeah, you're going to have to pay more later if you wait, but who knows how long it's going to take for this. It's not like 10 acres. It's like 600 and something. Now we find out it's 800 and something acres. So congratulations for everybody at Larimar. The extra acres, great. The EIR report, environmental impact report done, great. That means now they can get their permits, great. This looks like it's going to happen, great. But we need more information because we need to know what the obstacles are up there. And I'm sure there's going to be obstacles over 800 acres, 3.5 million square meters of land on a cliff that used to be farmland. Who knows what's there? I'm pretty sure there's wells, right? Where'd they get water from? So there's holes down there somewhere, right? So we don't know what's going to happen. All I do know is I have a question about those 50 meters high water. I don't know what that means. Lake or something. I don't know what that means. That'd be very interesting. All right. Let me see. Wider. Let's see. I'm sure they are watching the videos, Eric. They're not going to extend no one's contract. Wider. Writer IQ again. I know. We have to ask. Juan Andreas is reasonable. Even the German, he knows who I'm talking about. He knows. I know you're watching, man. You would have lost the bet, my man. You would have owed me like 5 G's. I told you should have bet me. I knew I was going to win, though. You knew I was going to win, actually, because you knew you didn't have the EIR report. You knew you had to do that. So you knew I was already going to win. So that's no fair. You knew already that you couldn't do what was supposed to happen. You knew there was going to be delays, man. Come on, you're playing. All right, now we can get on board for the right stuff. All right, you guys have taken hits over there. No need to keep taking these hits. Just be straight up with people. All right. At this point, I just got to tell everybody. If you have to deal with Larimar, and if you want to buy at Larimar, you can already see the writing on the wall. There's no way anything's going to be built in 12 months. All right, that's not going to happen. All right, we're still talking. Is something going to be built in 24? Sure, you're going to start seeing crews out there. Sure, you're going to start seeing some building going on. That's a great thing. But don't expect something like 3 years and you're going to have 8 towers done or more. Don't expect that. 8 towers, and some people argue 15 floors, 16 floors, whatever. I don't really care what your argument is. All I know is the 15th floor is a penthouse unit, so that means there's a 16th floor, right? And the way it's designed, there's probably a floor or the roof above, which normally has antennas, satellite storage, whatever. There's stuff up on top usually. So I go by mathematics. So all I'm trying to tell you guys is if we start talking about 8 buildings, and I'll just use a simple 15 stories. It don't really matter what I use because it doesn't matter. But if we do 8 times 15, that's 120 floors. I divide that by 36, which would be adding on 24 months onto everybody's contract that expires in first phase and second phase at August 2025. And then some have March, I think, or May of 2026 for like Paradise. And I think it's December or June for Breeze Towers. You just add on 24 months. Here's what it looks like. This is it. 3.3 floors a month in all buildings. Or actually, it's not all buildings, but it is 3.3 a month. We have 8 buildings. So take your pick. Either start at the first building and give me 3.3 floors, H1, and then go to either way. We got to do that every month. That's not possible. So we're still sitting in the same quagmire, except now you got an EIR impact report that's pretty serious. There's something that it looks like might be up there that's valuable and endangered for the island, and also valuable to the island as far as the landscape. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some other things tonight. That was a long one. We spent a long time on it. If anybody has anything else they want to share, please let me know. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Victor Marrero already said you should be happy. We have a lot of people here that own at Larimar. All right. They never sent me back my refund, which is interesting. So I guess I'm still an owner, but I'm delinquent because I'm never going to send any money. So I'm just saying. Well, I shouldn't say never now, because they got an EIR. That means they can get their permits. Or that should mean they should get their permits. In America, they would be able to get permits after they got their environmental impact done and approved and they paid their bond. They would be getting their permits. Except in America, it wouldn't be 3-4 months later because they would have already been streamlined. They would have said, okay, you can build this first section, right? You can get started for building. We understand that you got investors. I don't know about DR. DR might be the same way. All right. Hopefully, we don't have to wait 3-4 months for a permit. Hopefully, that permit's going to be fast tracked because they waited who knows how long for this report and the approval and the license. So hopefully they give them a fast track and say, okay, once that's gone, we're going to give you the permits to start. Hopefully. So then hopefully within the next 7 days, we see some movement. We see something posted on their official channels. That would be awesome. That would make me very, very happy for everybody. All right. Because again, if this is built, it's one of the top 5 projects in the world. Top 5. Some people may just now be coming in and not know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Is this their website? I don't even know if this is their website. I don't even know who runs these websites. All right. I'm just going to go to a website so people understand. We haven't talked about this for a while. I haven't shown pictures or video. Oh, I know I'm going to have a copyright strike. I just realized I played their video. All right. Let's go see what we have here. I translated this. So after this, okay, here we go. Here we go. This is Larimar, in case you're new here. Now, I guess people could actually invest. Anybody that signs up now, I'm pretty sure they're going to give them a 24 to 30, probably a 36-month contract minimum. No matter, I mean, I don't see why they would try to make 18 months or I don't see why they would try to do 18 months contracts. No matter if you're in Paradise, Breeze, I don't think they would do that. I don't see why they would do a 26-month contract either. But this is, look, this I haven't even been over here to see this is new. This video right here, I've never seen this on their page, so this is different. But this is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This boardwalk area is going to be 1.8 miles is what 3 kilometers is. All right. This is no joke. These are beach clubs down here with man-made beaches and everything. And they may have to change this up. All right. They may have to change it up. This is new right here. I don't know what that is. Oh, those are, wait, what is that? Oh, they've changed some. Wait, what is that? Oh, the hotel. Okay. All right. Looks like they done changed some things. So that means there's probably going to be new brochures coming out. This reinvigorates the project. This is great news for everybody. So they're talking about 22,000 homes here, which makes better sense, but they can do up to 30,000. They have changed their website since I last been here. This is, yeah, that looks like a Breeze, but I don't think it's that close. It might be. These were supposed to be levels, which I don't know if it's still going to be levels. 10 minutes to the hospital, but there's supposed to be a hospital on site. Probably, yeah, the hospital won't be built the first 2 or 3 years, I'm sure. 15 minutes to the airport, 20 minutes to the best beaches. Okay. Unique destination, sustainability and well-being. Okay, we like. Oh, this has changed a little bit. Larimar City by Claire HP. Here we go. Phase 1, blue. This is golf course. What is that? This is light blue. Are they saying that they're going to do all 18? Okay, I'm not even playing. This is insane. This right here is supposed to be is this the, This is not okay. I know I'm not colorblind. This is light blue. That says phase 1. This is 18 holes of golf. Is that what the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Okay. This is only 9. That's good. That's good. Okay. 9. Good. But what is this? They're not building they're not building Horizon 2 in first phase. They're not building Paradise Towers in first phase. So I don't know what this is. This is not accurate. Phase 1. Here we go. They actually line it up now. In fact, here we go. We get something new. We don't know what phase, well, H1, Prime Tower 1, Prime Tower 2. It was supposed to be Prime Tower 3 and 4. But we don't know. 6 penthouses. What? 6. There's 4 in each building. At 5. No, 4 in each building, I think. 138 apartments, 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms, private parking, twin barbecue, bump. Okay. Here it is. Confirmed. That is 4 towers. So wait, what are we talking about here? Okay. Yeah, okay. So it's prime 1, 2, 3, and 4 according to this website. Okay. So level 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see, there's level 16 right here. So why are people playing about there's only 15 levels? No, there's way more. There's 17 levels. You have to build a roof on top of the penthouse. So here's the 16th level. This is what we're talking about here. Look. Wait, what is this? What is this? Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's terrace. That's the interior. Right. That is right. Okay. That is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6. Okay. 6 penthouse units in each building. All right. So, all right. Fine. We're not going to mess around with that. Housing plans. I'm pretty sure these are going to be the same. I'm not going to mess around. Dining room. You only have, okay. So wait. What's phase 1? Is this is Prime Towers right here, the 4th buildings. Horizon 1 was also supposed to be in phase 1. A 6, whether it's a 6 of a kilometer or 6 of a mile, was supposed to be done up front. I don't know if that's still going to be the case because they don't really say. I did click on Prime Tower, so why is that doing this? Why are they playing around? Phase 1. Okay. Oh, Horizon is in phase 1. There we go. Horizon View. H1 is what I refer to as Horizon View. That's in phase 1. So they're admitting H1 and all Prime Tower 4s. That's 5 buildings. Okay. That's kind of crazy. Not going to happen. All right. That's really crazy. Really crazy. Hey, we can't see screen. Damn. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Now I got to go all the way back. Thank you. I popped back in. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to where I was. Here we go. So they have a new website. I don't know if it's Claire HP. It might be. And by the way, I'm a broker. So if somebody sees this and they decided they're going to do something at Claire with Larimar, then you can go through me now. Also, might as well get a little bit of commission now, right? Okay. Here's what I was looking at before. This is, yeah, there will be a hotel here. But this video is slightly different. They don't really show us much. They don't really show us much. Yeah, that I don't get this, but if you this is the first time you're seeing it, this is one of the third top 5 projects in the world. If they're able to complete what you see. What you see right here. This would be, you can see the water. In case you've never been up on the cliff, you do not have to be elevated to see the water. If you're in the beach club area. Once you're in your housing or condo area, you probably won't, because there'll be objects blocking on your level, like a hotel. So that's why you should be 7 floors high or more if you're going to be in any of the towers up front by the boulevard, Farallon. Make sure you're on the 7th floor or higher. All right. And up front. I'm pretty sure there are, if you end up being interested in this project, hit me up on WhatsApp. I put them in the chat room on Instagram and below. So that gives you an idea of the new, and nothing really new, but gives you an idea. That's what is going to be built. Again, this is Horizon buildings, and then these are the tower buildings. This is the Breeze building. Here's a hotel. Here's a hotel. There's going to be hotels. This is awesome. Beach clubs. Underneath this white is retail shops. Owners can go use the lower level, and it costs, they're going to charge people to enter the beach club level, except an owner and owner's guests do not have to. The second level, which is the owner's level. So the owners don't have to go to the lower level. You can go to the second level. People down here in the beach clubs, they cannot come to the second level. All right. So the owners have their own beach club, so to speak, or actually have their own beach clubs. But you can go to the first and second level. Again, anybody in the first level that want to utilize these beach clubs, you got to pay. But owner's guest, which is a point of greatness, because now you get to rent your unit out and you get the cachet of beach clubs included. Victor Marrero and everybody that owns at Rock right now has to pay for the beach club. Whether you get a yearly one, which Victor Marrero, the owners get a great deal. I mean, I think it's like, I think he told me it was $500, I think, for the year. That's like $40 a month on average. But I don't think that gets the guest in. At Larimar, no additional costs for you or your guests to go to the beach club or use the owner's beach club section. Only people that come off the street that don't live there, who wants to hang out at the beach clubs, you got to pay. All fair. And there's retail shops right here. All fair. Owners, retail shops right here and inside. All right. So I won't get too excited about that. 10 minutes, which there's going to be a hospital on board, but that probably won't be for 5 to 6 years. Let's just call it what it is. You don't build hospitals in a year. Let's call it what it is. All right. And then all this right here is something I've never seen before, but hey, Larimar City by Claire HP. And then this is what I was saying about their first phase, the light blue. This is not a thing. This is not going to happen. They can't do this. Is 9 holes, which is what they said they wanted to do. The blue now is very interesting because that blue area was, I believe, the sports complex. So that is different. No sports complex. So Mo, you were right. Okay. They changed up and they're going to move it back, which they rightly should. So that gives them leeway for other things. But now all this blue area, there's no Horizon 1, Horizon 2, and all that being built in first phase. That just not going to happen. And all the Prime Tower 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I think this is a hotel here. And there's a hotel here too. Nobody builds a hotel in 2 years or less. Let's just get that out the way as well. Phase 2, this looks interesting. That looks like Breeze Towers. But what about Paradise? Maybe they did an adjustment on the Paradise Towers or something. Anybody own it, Paradise Towers? When is the delivery date? I think isn't it supposed to be March or May 2026 or June 2026? That would be second phase. Okay, I don't know. The green area is phase 3, which we don't know nothing about. But that looks like, oh, they did change the golf course. Yes. I think so. Juan Romero. Juan Andreas. All right. The German. Okay, man. I like this. I like what I'm seeing. Okay. I like it. I love it. Now, if you just move this, make sure there's no buildings here. You should just have it run up here, man. Get yourself like a half a kilometer where people can see the ocean from about when you're on holes like 10, 11, 12, whatever, 13. Yeah, man, that would be sweet. PGA worthy. All these would be increased in value. These are villas that would be built on the golf course. Come on now. What are these? What's happening? How come this isn't popping up? All right. Just visions of grandeur, ladies and gentlemen. One of the reasons we love 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, plus powder room, plus private. The penthouses they're sweet. Let's call it what it is. They're sweet, ladies and gentlemen. I had somebody in the chat room ask me about they asked me about furniture. Some people are starting to trickle in with their deliveries for their condos, and it's going to start coming heavy and fast starting in the next 90 days to the next years. And I always say, go see Joel at Oppin, Oppein. Let them know Eric from SSN Nation told you to come. Why? Special order if you don't have a furniture package. If you can special order, made for you, colors, stones, and design that you want, and it costs you nearly at wholesale prices, that's where you should go. Tell Joel, Eric said, man, make it the best deal on the planet. We're going to have our own group of people. Everybody's going to keep coming. Soon as one person gets delivery, it takes 90 days after you design it. It's specifically made for your unit. All right? This is serious. Can you special order your color, your lighting, your coffee tables, your sofas, your love seats, your sofa beds, your bedroom set with the side tables, night tables, lighting? You can structure it any way you want and have it fit specifically to your walls, how high, how low, the walls, out to the walls, or short. You can specify length, width, height. You want lighting, you tell them where to put it. 3 months later, it arrives. And it fits to your measurements, not theirs, yours. Sure, they'll have somebody come out and look, I'm sure, but just to double check, because once you order, you own it. Takes 90 days. And if it matters, yes, it comes from China. But you go to the showroom. They have a showroom there off the freeway, OPPEIN. You go there. Tell Joel, I'm from SSN Nation, but make sure you bring something that can translate English to Spanish, Spanish to English. Joel, even though they can communicate in English, it's not fluent. Maybe by now they might start. There may be somebody, a couple of people there that's fluent, but generally they may only be one person there. And if they have more than one customer that speaks English, then there you have it. You're going to have a problem. You're going to have to wait. Not really a problem. You can look around and be like amazed. You'll be like, hey, I want my coffee table to have this type of stone. You can pick it out. The color, the stone, everything. You want your dining room table to be stone or set a certain way, you can pick it out. It's all what you like. Upscale luxury, ladies and gentlemen, that you can create yourself, which means your unit is more valuable from a rental standpoint. All right. And when you sell it, it's more valuable too, because people will say, can I have the furniture? Now on sale, phase 2 golf villas. They're selling villas. They're making villas. What is this? So they're actually, okay. All right. This is new. These guys been working a little bit. I mean, it's not really like they have to do anything. They had to wait around for this for the last 9 months. So are they in the building of villas now? Because I thought they were going to allow people to have a separate builder for the villas. So that'd free them up. This looks nice. That looks nice. Floor plans are here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. LarimarCity.com is where you go. Here goes the golf villa plans. Let's see what they look like. Are they still the same? Oh, man. They look still the same. Let's see. This is first level. Oh, this one. This is very interesting. I like it. Actually, I like all their villas. I can't say nothing bad about it. I like all of them. Here is second floor. Yeah, this is what I like about this one. I like all of them, quite frankly. So I can't even look. I'm not even going to say anything because they're nice. They're all nice. What is the price? I have no idea. What's the square meters? 1,280. It's 224 square meters is what they're saying. First level, 12, almost 1,300 square feet. Second level, 1,100. So yeah, 2,400 square feet. 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. Again, these are nice. Yeah, I like this. Nice. Okay, Villa 3. They have a little bit different. Oh, wait, they changed things up. This all looked the same. These all look the same. Villa type 4. They weren't all the same before. Ah, here we go. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. All right. This is what we're talking about, right? This is 27, isn't it? 2,700 square feet. Yep. That's not. Now, this is where we start getting into some of the more costly ones. Villa 5. I don't remember them having 5. Yes. Open floor plan, bedroom off of it, master, outdoors, pool, barbecue. Yes. Heaven. Oh, 3,200 square feet? Heaven. Okay, guys, you got to mount up. This is what they're talking about right here. This is 9 holes of golf. Your villas are going to be on the golf course. There's some other things as well that notice they have water. Notice they have water, right? Here's where the sports complex is going to be. They're supposed to have a driving range, soccer, I think, baseball field. They've added that. There's a few other things. So it looks like, hey, Looks like they're doing something. Let me know what you guys are thinking. How you feeling right now? Let me know. If you want to talk about investing or anything else, let me know that as well. It turns out to be Larimar mostly. Here we go. We have some pictures. This is different, I think. These are slightly different. I like it. I like this because it depends. If you have golf view, this is nice. This is nice. This is nice. All of this is nice. It's all open on this side, but you know, it is what it is. This right here needs to be a windows here. I'm just saying. If we're building it ourselves, yeah, see, this is the view you're going to have from upstairs. I don't know if that's the main master. I haven't really paid attention, but these are beautiful. All right. Yeah, see, this is what you want. What's the value? Well, these will be over $1 million. Let's call it what it is. After they're built, not, well, unfortunately, if you're going to build 3,000 square meters, yeah, you're going to have to spend 400 right now. So you got to buy the lot, which is 105,000. Then it's going to cost you anywhere from 300 to 400,000 if you get your own builder. But then you're going to need to deal with other stuff. Yeah, this has changed a little bit. Okay. All right. I like the villas. That's cool. All right. Showing some love. Let's get out of the villa program. All right. Most people bought the condos. So now you know what this means. Now I have to go back and see if they actually changed anything in the condos, the way they look. Any improvements. Let's go see. That's Breeze. Okay. These are sweet because they have their own man-made beach back there. I mean, we all can go to it, but the man-made beach, here it is. This is Breeze Towers. Prime Towers is here. This is phase 2. They have 4 towers here. They have a restaurant, kids' playground. There's something I'm missing. Man-made beach. And if you're up front, you're going to see the ocean. Because this would be somewhat of your view. I'm not minding this type of design. But we'll see how it goes. There you go. That's actually your view. You can see the water without even being up 700 or 800 feet. I mean, 60, 70 feet. You can see the water easily. Just be on the 7th floor or higher if you decide to buy in these ones that's up front. Because hotels are going to be 4 levels high, which also means there's a 5th level because they have to have a roof, and usually there's going to be something on the roof. So you want to be, if worse comes to worse and you say, I still want some water view, then you're going to have to be on the 6th floor. So here's the backside, the man-made beach. It's going to be extravagant. And here's walking through like a green area, which restaurant, I believe it. Yeah, it's going to be a restaurant here. Across the street, what they're not showing here is there's supposed to be a shopping retail area right here. Whether it happens, but here's the man-made beach, 2nd phase. All right. Availability is there. Hit me up in WhatsApp if you want to get over at Larimar. All right. If anybody's going to buy at Larimar, go through me. But I won't be talking about Larimar that often. All right. Until we find out where the permit situation is and see if they're going to do anything with our contracts. I'm still going to be voting for it. Let's see if they do anything with our contracts. All right. Hey, all it takes is about another 10, 20 people going, I'm from SSN Nation. Give me a 24-month extension on my contract. Or give us information on when your permits are going to be done. Or are they done? You know what I'm saying? As investors, we deserve it anyhow. It's not like we're asking for something that's not. that shouldn't be asked. All right, again, this is what it looks like clearly outside your window. So hopefully that helps people with that. And then I'll go to, where are we going to go after this? We're going to go to prime. So I'll show the prime, since some people may be new here. And yes, there's some prime towers still available, I'm pretty sure. All right, learn more. Is this where prime towers is going to reside? Let's see. Yes, here's prime towers. They're different. All the towers are going to be built differently, just so everybody knows. They're making it like Miami. Certain sections, all different. There's not going to be another prime tower building somewhere else. There's not going to be another Breeze building, and there's not going to be another Paradise building. They're all going to look different, different design, just like Miami, which is quite cool, frankly. All right, here's prime. So now notice different design. Even though these were designed 2.5 years ago, this could change. These are renderings. Any rendering you see could change, because these guys aren't going to even finish this thing. Like I say, 2 years, 3 years, is somebody's going to live there. We just don't know how high or how many floors or whatever, but somebody's going to live there. So will these renderings actually be it? Because as you know, when things get older, after you design it and you have to wait, and it's not going to be built for 5 years potentially, or 4 years, the designs change. So what was cool in 2020 may not be cool in 2025 or 2027. You follow what I'm saying? So we will see. Yes, here we go. This is behind prime towers. But here's the thing. There's another pool here. They actually show it great on here. A pool, sports courts, basketball courts, pickle or tennis, pickleball or whatever this is. Paddleball courts, tennis courts, whatever that is right behind prime towers. That's crazy. That's awesome. The man-made beach is across the street. Talk about living in the right location. Now, retail center here. We don't know what's going to be there yet. Some people are going to be able to either buy. No, you can't buy. You're only going to be able to lease. At least that's what they used to say. You can only lease it because they want to be able to control who the tenants are. So hopefully this excites somebody who doesn't know about it. Between every 4 buildings, there's a pool and a little seating, cabana area, barbecues. All right, so Breeze has the same. Well, maybe. I don't remember about Breeze. Paradise Towers has the same. Breeze, because they have a man-made beach behind it, might not have a pool right here. But never fear. Everybody that's staying here, you can go across. This is upgrades on value for rentals. Unfortunately, this is prime. Horizon 1. See the tier? That's the building Horizon 2, but Horizon 1 is going to be like this too. Sweet stuff. Those are still available because of the pricing. They're over 200,000. And if they still keep first phase, that means delivery is only 12. Well, your last payment's going to be 12 to 13 months. So you might as well pay cash. Almost, because you're going to owe it 12 months divided by 200,000. If you go for a payment plan at let's say 40%, 80 grand. I'll just use 80 grand, make it simple. 80 grand divided by 12, whatever that number is, right? You're going to be over 7 G's a month. So just saying, if you you can do a payment plan. But yeah, we'll get Horizon Project is supposed to be the jewel of the complex. Just so everybody knows, they have their own shopping center at Horizon, behind Horizon. I see something here. What is that? What is that? Okay, Juan Andreas, I see you. I see you. You added some things. Okay. I see you guys. Look, this is it. Paradise Towers is behind here. Or, yeah, it's behind here. On this side is Paradise Towers, another set of 4. They're for sale right now. And Paradise Towers 2 is going to be a condo hotel, I believe. All right. I think I'm going to have to wrap this up. I'll be here all day because this reinvigorates a lot of people, makes a lot of people happy. And it's very nice to see that they actually changed the website. It's a lot better. See, here's on the bottom floor, just so everybody knows, these units are not very big. I mean, well, to me and anybody who lives in the USA, not very big. Who's not from New York, not very big. Who's not from SFO. Some people from SFO in New York would say, these are hella big. You're talking about 700 square feet? That's for a 2-bedroom, all right? That's on the bottom floor, just so everybody understands. And it does, if you buy here, the kitchen, you receive white line. Your stove, your fridge, your range, your hood. AC systems. That's what is all included. All right, so where's all the rest? Oh, okay, I see what's happening. Let's just 3 through 14. Here we go. This is what 3 through 14 looks like. Just to give people an idea, the largest terraces are in Prime Tower so far. The terrace is ridiculous. Where's it at? Look at this, 307 square feet. That's just ridiculous. 300 square feet, 30 by 10. That's crazy when you really think of it. That's insane. I don't know if it's that dimension, but I'm just saying 30 square feet. 300 square feet is huge. This is on floor 3 through 14, just so everybody knows. All right. You want to see something crazy? Then I'll go to the 15th floor. We'll go to where's the 16th floor? We're not going to the 16th floor, but we don't need to. Look at this. This is my favorite design, by the way, which is on the side penthouse, unfortunately. But nonetheless, the terrace, look at this. It's crazy. 977 square feet. That's not this terrace. It's both terraces combined. All right. Because here's the other terrace. Well, wait, where's downstairs? 14th floor? No. Where's 15th floor? Oh, terrace 2. This is a different configuration. Oh, here we go. Check this one out. This is the other penthouse, which has 1,100 square feet of terrace space. Crazy. How much were these? Could have gotten in for sadly, could have bought one of these for $285,000 when they first came out. 329,000, 350,000, 360,000. That's what they used to cost. And now we have 2 bedrooms in Vista Cana that are penthouse units that people are trying to sell for $250,000. So again, it was always a great investment if they were able to build on time, which the timing doesn't matter at this point. Apparently they are going to be able to build. So we'll see what happens. E. White, if you're still here, I know you invested there. Let's see. Who else is here? Paul isn't here. Let's see. Brian P. No. He was just looking. Laverne, no. Joe Nay. I think he did. Joe Nay. Yeah, I think he invested in Larimar. So let me know if you guys are still here. Let me know what you think. Anybody on Instagram? What do you guys think? Let me know. Come on now. If you're still here, let me know. Make sure you smash the like buttons, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't going to really talk about Larimar mostly because investing opportunities are abound. The stock market went down, as Victor Moreau mentioned. So therefore, you're taking advantage of dollar cost averaging. That's the thing. And some of us are going to be receiving some of small amounts of dividends. So you can reinvest those, or actually they reinvest themselves if you have an auto reinvest. So that's pretty cool. And I don't see anybody overly excited, but here we go with some amenities. Again, green areas, swimming pools, everybody knows all that. Okay, business plans, building plans, everybody knows that. Housing plans, everybody can see that. They do not have a furniture package yet, but so what? I caution everybody, if you're building something, I don't even want to think about my fixtures 2-3 years in advance, because what is cool fixtures now may not be cool fixtures 2 years or 3 years from now. So now that, just think in that light. And the one bath looks like, okay, if they end up looking like this would be kind of cool. Right? Okay, bathroom. They got a place for towels. Okay, little storage. All right. Okay, nicely done. Go ahead. This little shelf over a toilet, I'm not a big fan of that, just so everybody knows. Not with some sort of guard, because somebody's going to drop it in the toilet. Let's get real. Or drop something in there. So anyhow, that's enough. Enough, I think. So if there's anything else you guys want to talk about besides Larimar, let me know. That's enough talk. Everybody understands that's an environmental report that we saw, and it was approved. Now they should be moving to second phase, which I don't know for a fact. I've never built in DR, so I don't know their processes. I can only guess based on United States. So that means they should be exercising their permits, because all of their designs and everything should have already been approved after all this time. So now their permits should be fast tracked, I'm hoping. So hopefully they can start really doing something in the next 2 months, or for that matter, next week. Maybe they fast track their permits, because they know this is in case the government is watching and they don't know, this is a top 5 project in the world. There's nobody else doing that. So if you want to move up in the top 5 rankings, there's only one way to move up. Transportation around the Eastern Shore, and one of the stops would be at Larimar. Just saying. TRX, Ellen Icon. TRX is in Kuala, I can never pronounce it, Kuala Lumpur. And Ellen Icon is in Athens, Greece. TRX Exchange, Ellen Icon in Athens, Greece. Both of those would be higher ranked because they have everything almost that Larimar has, just not the same design. And they have it where their subway or transportation hubs stop at their location. TRX, it's actually a stop that they can change tracks at. That's how sick TRX Exchange is. At Ellen Icon, it's just another stop. So you can get on and off, and you can go in either direction. So if Larimar had a stop of some sort of mass transportation system where you can just, even a stop, that would be like, that would just make it even better. But it's in top 3 in the world without it. Just saying. And by the way, I have been challenging. I'll challenge people, because some people may be going, no way it's top 3 in the world. I challenge anybody to find a project as constructed from their renderings and everything that has the ocean view, that has the downtown shopping area, that has the hospitals, that has the fitness, they have the shopping areas, they have the beach clubs, they have man-made beaches, they have sports complex, they have 18-hole golf course, all of that and then more. Restaurant, bars, nightclubs, downtown, casino. If you can find a place that has all of that laid out like Larimar, they too would be in the top 5. But I challenge anybody to find one. Come back on Friday at 9-10 p.m. and let me know if you found one, and tell us what it is. You're gonna be searching. Trust me. You're gonna be searching high and low to find something that can compete with Ellen Icon, TRX Exchange, and Larimar. Because those properties, the values are gonna be crazy. One thing that I think is that I make videos on Miami. If you guys don't understand, Miami costs a lot more. It's a whole different market, but they have condos that are, I can't even believe the latest one. that's 500, 600 square feet, and they're like $600,000 because they're in Brickell. They're in the up and coming area, and everything in that area increases so fast, as well does everything in Miami. So this is not what's happening in the Dominican Republic, other than the fact of the prices in DR are starting to go beyond ordinary citizens, OCs. So once you reach a tipping point for having a second home, what's that tipping point? Is it, well, our tipping point here that I always subscribe to is once you get over 250, you better start making sure from a rental standpoint that you can get your 15% or more. Because at that point, you have to charge more than 1%, well, 1% minimum. So if you're going to buy something for $350,000, you better make sure that you're going to get $350 per night. And you better be sure, or reasonably sure, that you can rent it out at 50%, 180 nights a year at that rate. Because as we all know, usually you have midweek rates less than weekend rates. Just saying. So keep that in mind as well. A lot of people do stay over the week, or, stay on Friday and Saturday, the most expensive days usually, other than the holidays. So that puts you in a category. But again, I'll reiterate this just for everybody who invests in real estate. My rule is if I look at something and I have to pay whatever that amount is, and I'm doing short-term rentals, I want to get 1%. So if I buy something for $200,000, I want to reasonably be assured that I can rent for $200 per night. That's just my golden rule. Why? Because that gets me in 14, 15% range if I can get a 50% rental. If it's better, 60%, now we're going hallelujah. Because now we're approaching 15 to 18%. After expenses, NOI, 15 to 18, we can approach 20 at that point. If we start getting 65, it's a wrap. We're going to be at 20. Do you understand? 20% on a $200,000 investment means 40 grand a year. All right. We do have someone here that's retired. If you're new here, Victor Marrero owns it Margaritaville. He bought Margaritaville for $250,000. Fully furnished, had to add roughly a little under 50,000 more. So for 300,000, fully furnished Margaritaville. And that thing, you can go look it up. He sent me this stuff one time. I don't know if it's a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom cottage or whatever, but he has one of those, a unit there. And they get anywhere from 200 and something per night to, in a prime time, 600, 550 per night. So when you start talking about paying 300 and you're talking about $30,000 gives you 10% after expenses, that's how we calculate here. Imagine if it's 100. Imagine 100,000 or 80 or 70. After expenses and all you spent was 300,000. Fully furnished. I think you would be very, very happy. That's why I subscribe to a range. If you're going to spend 400 grand, make sure you're going to get $400 per night. It better be in one hell of a great location as well. All right. Or have amenities or something. Because this is what's going to happen at Larimar if this is going green lit as it looks like. It's green lit. It was green lit 2 years ago. The problem is there's going to be issues, and those issues were not known to the general public. So we had to find out later. So again, it doesn't really matter. But the point is, if you're going to do the penthouse units are 300 and I haven't looked. Let's just say they're 330. No, it can't be. One of the penthouse units are going to be 365, 375 grand. All right. Do you think if you have the one that can see the water, and even though it may only be 1,900 square feet or 2,100 square feet, but you have 1,000 square feet of terrace space, if you have water view and you have a penthouse unit, do you not think you can rent it for $350 a night, $375 a night? You damn well better be renting it at that. If not, I'm gonna have to stay in your spot and slap you when I see you, because you damn well better be doing 400 and something per night or more. You have water view, ocean view from your unit, from your first floor and your second floor, and from your balcony, terrace space. Come on. You damn well better be at 400. You shouldn't be at 1%. But you can do that. The villas on a golf course, I don't know what they're worth. But if all of a sudden they had villas on a golf course with a golf course that has ocean view, now all of a sudden we start talking. But nonetheless, the villas will not have ocean view. They'll have golf course view, and everybody higher pricing when you stay. And it also generates, when there's a country club that's going to have restaurant, bar, and all that, and a membership, and there's only going to be 1,500 memberships, your villas go up in price, because now you can golf there. So all of this, that their design gives you value. All right, you have to understand this. If you're new, if you want to buy something there, hit me up on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp link is in the chat room, all over the place. I'll put it in there again. I'll go to Instagram. Massey Torres, welcome. Instagram. Go there. I'm in the group. I'm the admin. Hit me up. We'll get you hooked up if you want to start talking about Larimar again. We can start talking until we get more clarification. I'll hit up Gennaro tomorrow and see what Gennaro says. He says, wait for info, wait for info. This is the info he's probably talking about, but this is just the beginning. The next question is, where's the permits and have they been approved yet? As soon as you get the permits, that's when we know it's a go. Up until then, we're going to wait until they can start building. It's still a go. We just have to wait till they start building. So I guess this is going to put the naysayers to rest. Can they build out there? Yes, they can. Are they going to be able to, based on the environmental impact study and report and what they have to go through? It all depends on what's out there. If they're going to have to jump through 5 hoops, or is it going to be a constant jumping through hoops because of the way the vegetation is and the way the trees are? Maybe they're protected. Who knows? But we will find out, hopefully. And I'm pretty sure Jose Andres Romero, the German, the communications director, and Gennaro, I'm pretty sure they know. They better have already surveyed the land and already done checked out all of the hazards. They better. There's no way they waited 2.5 years. Come on. There's just no way. I refuse to believe that. All right. So we will see what happens. People can get excited. We all know how building goes. I'm very happy for everybody who purchased at Larimar at this day. This is a great day. This is not a bad day. It's a great day, because as you guys know, there are realtors, including myself, saying it can't be built if they don't do something. Now it's clear they're approved for building. Now, okay, they approved the environmental report. Clearly, they should be able to get permits. I don't see any reason they'd be stopped at this point. So that should be a good thing for everybody. E. White, let me know. Jonay, let me know. Paul Castile, when you see this, let me know. All right? Come on, guys, let me know. We have a lot of people that own up there. All right? George's Charles, he's up there. He should be happy as F. He's Mr. Millionaire. How much? And I got a question for everybody. On top of that, if you don't want to answer these questions, everybody on the podcast, answer the questions down below. Let me know what you think the price of these units are going to be in light of the cost of units at Atlantida, Poseidonia. They're different projects. Just keep that in mind. Different areas, different locations. Oceana, Vistacana, and downtown. Okay, so just so everybody understands, there are people who actually were able to buy one bedrooms for 89.9, 90,000, 95,000. We all know now you can't buy a one bedroom with amenities inside any of those places I mentioned for less than, you can only get something in Vistacana right now for 140 with a beach, their man-made beach view at Seven Palms. No, but here's the thing. Unfurnished. No white line, meaning no kitchen appliances, but they will have the cabinets and things like that. And no AC units. So that's 140. So now here's the other thing. The 2 bedrooms, Prime Tower 1 started at 118.9. Can you believe that? I mean, sorry, 2 bedrooms, 118.9. Is that incredible? 119 for a 2 bedroom with ocean views. E. White, happy. Me, happy. Georges Charles, happy. Paul Castillo, I think he has partial. Georges Charles, happy. Jonay, happy. I think Jonay owns there. I can't remember. There's tons of people that own there. Mo does not own there, but I don't know if it changes Mo's mind if he wants to wait 4 years or 3 years or whatever. I don't know. Because Prime Tower 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think there may be 1 or 2 units still available, but unfortunately, they still have delivery days next year in the Prime Tower 1s. Same with Horizon Tower 1. Yeah, this is going to be a long time if I keep explaining about Larimar, because Horizon Towers, the jewel of Larimar, they have their own shopping area. They have their own beach club. They're going to have their own fitness room. They're going to have their own cafe. I don't want to say restaurant, but something like that. This the jewel. So you're not even going to have to leave their compound. And those cost $240. Like I said, you can get a 2 bedroom for $240 to $260, $270. I don't know if they changed the pricing, but I haven't checked the pricing in 6 months. All right, it didn't matter. So they might have increased the prices, but you could be in the 200,000s for a 2 bedroom that has ocean view from your room or from your deck. So again, what is that? 19, pretty. Thank you at Instagram. Glad to see you. Thank you. I appreciate you being in the house. We're talking about Larimar right now. We went over the contract for everybody that may have come in late. Not the contract. We went over the environmental impact report is what I call it. But their version in the US, their version in the DR, and they went over what Larimar and whoever the sponsor is, what they have to do. And some things are in there that are important. If there's any trees, floral fauna of any sort that's endangered or you can't mess with, you got to you can't build on it. Either you got to let it stay or you have to place it somewhere else. Revegetation. So and I don't know the status if there are anything endangered, and if there's any endangered species, you have to relocate or leave it open. I'm thinking that's an option. So that again, if there are such things like that, then that means there's going to be some sort of, I don't know if it's really delay. You're just going to have to bring in, while you're building the buildings, the foundation, which is clear. You're just going to have another crew over there getting the other section handled. The golf course, That's a separate entity. A third party is going to be building the golf course. At least that was the last thing. And that also will impact if there's any endangered species, any endangered plants or animals or whatever is there, you're going to have to deal with. And if your golf course is going to be what it should be, 274 acres, are you listening? It should be, so you can have a PGA Tour event there, or even a second tier PGA event. But again, I like that the holes were expanded. They brought them up closer on the end. You should have ocean view from the holes, at least 3 or 4 of them, if you can. Hell, as long as you have 2 or 3, that would be cool. But 4, 5 would even be better, but I'm not going to be greedy. 2 or 3 would be great. Even I might even come out there and hit the sticks every now and then. Even, you never know. If you live in a cool place and they got cool amenities, you're going to use them, right? Who doesn't want to work out and have ocean view? Come on, let's get real. Who doesn't want to play golf? And when you're out there seeing the nice homes, seeing the manicured lawns, and then you get on like hole number 14 and all of a sudden you see like the ocean, you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you're hitting it 15 and you could see the ocean again. That'd be cool, right? Or walking down the fairway, you see ocean. That'd be cool. That gives you an extra value, and that is worthy of a PGA golf course. Come on, let's get real. You got to be over 200. Okay, advised 275 acres minimum. Just saying. All right, E. White. Here's his prediction. E. White, yeah, the 2-bedroom may be worth $350K. Whoa. E. White, E. White, E. White, E. White. He's going over. He's going over. Wait, 350. E. White, are we talking about Larimar 2-bedroom that all of us bought for under $150,000? Are you serious? Let me know if I know why you're doing this. I know why you're doing this. I have to giggle. I know why you're doing this. Because you saw Poseidonia, you saw Atlantida 2-bedroom prices. Here's the difference, though. The 2 bedrooms there, they're about 400, 500 square feet bigger. They're in the thousands, not including the balcony. They're like 1,200, 1,300, 1,400. So I know that may be what you're thinking. But you know what? I can't even argue with that estimate because we don't know. Because if people get up there, it's all based on when they get there and they find out nobody else can do this. And it's the only spot in town that you can have this and everything that's involved. There's a value to that. And nobody knows how much that is. Is that an extra 100,000? Is that extra 200? If we go by what's happening in Miami at Brickell, we don't know. They could be 250, 350, 400 G's. We don't know. Because what's happening in Brickell in Miami, which is in the USA, which is totally different market, is that once they establish that you don't have to, in our building is fitness center, cafe, co-working spaces, theater, not big enough for a real theater, but you start adding all this stuff up. Beach views from top floor or ocean views from your rooms, ocean views from top floors, ocean views where they put a pool on the 15th floor and then there's another pool on the 50th floor. Boxing rings. I mean, all this crazy things that, just 10 years ago wouldn't be in buildings. They're putting them in the condo buildings in Brickell in Miami. So people don't have to leave. They have valet parking. They have mini marts and restaurants downstairs on the first floor. Starbucks even. Stuff like this is going on. Restaurant bars inside, like on building floor 10, like at Gale Hotels at Nativa. So this is the same thing that can happen back then. I mean, that could happen here. Eric, I don't own it, those places, but I can have hope. It's the new Miami, Las Vegas. Yeah. Speaking of that, I would go for more like, well, Vegas is its own animal. It's different. Vegas isn't even, the weird part is Vegas doesn't even compare to what Larimar is doing or TRX or anything. Vegas does have city center. They do have condos like the MGM residences and what's that other one? Well, anyhow, they have a lot of residences there, condo residences. And the problem that is when they built them, they didn't build them for the future. There aren't, so to speak, restaurant shops in the building, restaurant shops downstairs on the first floor where you can just do everything in your building, fitness room in your building. Yeah, they have that occasionally, but it's not guaranteed. So this concept is new. This is something where you're going to have fitness centers, pools, fitness rooms, all within your building. You don't have to leave. Shopping, mall attachments. It's crazy. It's like city center somewhat. But even city center, if you go look at their prices, they're not outrageous. Outrageous would be if they were $1 million for every unit, starting at 1 bedrooms or something. Like Miami, 700 grand for a 1 bedroom unit. That's 51 square meters. I mean, this is out of control, right? They don't have nothing like that. Even at city center, you can still buy a 1 bedroom for probably 200 and some thousand. 2 bedroom is probably 4. I mean, it's not crazy. It's not really crazy. All right. So that's why when we talk about things, and Vegas isn't even the same. I stay at Cosmopolitan. The reason why I just love Cosmopolitan, because it's not like the hot spot. What I mean is to stay. So it's not really jam-packed. And they're not known for having shows that have, 2,000 people coming to a show. So they have a little mall area, but their upstairs boulevard terrace, unmatched. If you never stayed at Cosmopolitan, if you ever go hang out in Vegas, go to the strip pool tables, sports bars, restaurants, cabanas, top notch, and hardly anybody there. It's not jam packed. It's not like, going to, well, they used to have Tao at the Venetian. They used to have Rehab at Hard Rock, which is no longer Hard Rock. All those pools would be jam packed. Up there, we're lounging, man. Little music going down, DJs playing, and hardly anybody's there. It's awesome. But again, you can't just roll into the Cosmopolitan pool, though. So, all right. So just saying. Let's end this tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, I'll see you on Friday night. Well, I'll have some answers to some of the questions that I was, relaying to you. And E. White, if I had to guess, if I'll put it this way, let's just say they're building, right? We're not going to deal with the time frame. They're going to build. They'll be done in 3 years, 2.5 years. For somebody's going to be living there in 2 years, 2.5 years. So at that point, 3 years from now, where it's going to be 2027, how much would a 2 bedroom, 1 bedroom, and a penthouse unit be in Punta Cana? Yeah, I don't know. I know it ain't going to be 200. I know it's going to be worth more than 200. I know it's going to be worth more than 250 because we're already at 200 for regular units all over the place for 2 bedrooms and higher. So E. White might be right, because if once we go past 250, what's the next stop? It is 275, 300. So actually, that's not so far-fetched. That's not far-fetched at all. After everything you have there. Remember, there's a shopping mall that's going to be up there. It's Larimar City for a reason. There's going to be a mall. Okay, I forgot about that. There's a mall there too. There's going to be restaurants with allegedly world famous chefs. And if you start doing stuff like that, then E. White's going to be exactly right, 350. It's going to be 350 for a 2-bedroom. Clearly, easily. If you start putting names, restaurateurs, famous chefs' names, famous store names, famous people live there. Wink, wink. Meaning famous people live there. I'm just saying. There are famous people that live there. You start adding all those, now you have a celebrity, you have a place that everybody wants to go, just like Dubai, right? Everybody's going to Dubai. Vegas, Miami, these are places that are just, mega tourist destinations. When people come to Punta Cana and they see at the airport the images of Larimar, people are going to start going, that's here. I want to stay there. That's all they're going to say. They'll see the beach clubs and they're going to be like, is that all inclusive? And somebody says, no, it's not all inclusive. And somebody's renting their unit for $300 per night. They're 2-bedroom. And they're going to be like, and wait, do I have to pay for those, the beach clubs and all that? And somebody says, no. Then they go, wait, I see some sports courts out back and I see pickleball or paddleball court. Do I have to pay for that? They go, no. They're going to say, wait, what? Is there a fitness room? Yes. There's a sports complex, which unfortunately not going to be in phase 1, apparently. So I think so. When you have first phase, price increase after each phase. Yeah, E. White. So back to you think in 2027, which I now have to agree with you based on our pricing right now. If 2027 rolls around 3 years from now, which is what they should have everybody's payment plan for easily. I think it'll be 300, 290 to 350 is possible, especially for us who have Ocean View. And I have to include us because I didn't get a refund, so I'm including us still. Okay. I just don't see how Ocean View units with 200 square foot balconies, more than 228 square feet balconies, I just don't see how at that point they're not going to be 299 to 350. I agree. And the higher the floor as well. Remember, E. White's on the 14th floor. Me and George are on the 3rd floor. Both of us have 11th floor, sorry. Both of us have ocean views. E. White has ocean views. Paul Castillo has ocean views. The people that have ocean views, definitely 350. You're right. He's thinking of his unit. He's on the 14th floor. Ocean View. He's definitely going to get 350. Me and G will have 350 easily. Everybody's going to have that. So as long as they can build those man-made beaches and make it look like that, and you can see the water, you can see the oceans from, like I said, as long as you're on the 6th floor, not hidden behind the hotel, you're on the 7th floor and up. Just pick 7 and up just to be good. But 7th floor ocean view and up, you're valuable. Your unit's going to be valuable. For all those who are behind and you don't have ocean view, okay, you may not be in the 300s. Or you might be in the 299 to 275 to 300 range. Or because you're at Larimar, maybe your unit's going to be 3 something too, because people are going to say it has pool view. And some people are going to go, I got man-made beach view over here. And when I go out my bedroom, I can see the water from here or something like that. I mean, all those are going to be, take your pick. So, yeah, I think so, because we're talking about inside Vista Cana right now. We have 7 Palms across the street from the second man-made beach. The 2 bedrooms are, you can only get a 2-bedroom on the 1st floor or a 2-bedroom penthouse. The penthouse, if it has the water view, is $250,000. And the first floor is, I believe it's 179, 189. So VistaCon is nice too, but it's not Larimar. But it's still nice too. All right, everybody, I'm going to go. The advantage of getting in early. Exactly. The advantage of getting in early, and we believed that this was awesome. And now it looks like they got paperwork that's going to allow them to move forward with this. So we'll go through the journey. And all I can say is I hope they extend everybody's contract 24 months. That's all I can hope for. And if they're listening, with the caveat of, if you do deliver before that time, I'll give everybody an example of what I mean, because maybe people will chime in on Friday about this. If you owe, let's say you bought yours for 100,000, and let's just say on delivery, because we had contracts at 10, 30, 60 and 10, 40, 50, I think. So let's just say your contract right now has those numbers, and you owe 50,000, right? So if they said, okay, that's on delivery is 50,000, you already put down. But let's just say they say, well, we'll give you an extra 2 years. These are all 0%. So at that point, somebody might start thinking in their head properly. They'll start going, wait a minute, I got 0% interest here. This thing's happening. I might as well just keep paying the same amount for the next 2 years. If you see progress, right? You might think that way. You might just say, I'll just keep paying. Because some people have already paid, 40, 50 grand of their $120,000, $130,000, $140,000 for their 2-bedroom condos. So you might start going, well, I'll just start paying the extra at 0%. If you're not going to pay cash, right? I mean, all of this is in favor of expanding the payment plan. Because now you're going to put people in position where some people would say, oh, that's cool. I've already paid. I only have a year left. Or some people might have already paid. And they might start thinking, well, damn, I could just pay $500 a month. That's 6 G's a year. I could start paying, and that's at 0%. That'll start paying down my overall average. Because remember, everybody bought things early. 2 bedrooms, basically 140,000 to 120. 1 bedrooms, 108 to 89. So paying at 0% gives you a big advantage, especially because you're going to accumulate a lot of equity. This is going to be one of the top 5 projects in the world. So again, meet us back here on Friday, 9-10 p.m. I want to see somebody come up with a top 5 project in the world that people should invest in. That's for sale, not some hotel, not some, all-inclusives. No, a place where people can live that you think is worthy of a top 10, that has a marina, or may have a marina, that may have towers on the beach, the ocean, villas on the ocean, who has college, who has malls, who has, that's Alan Icon I'm referring to. All right. This is what we're talking about. So meet me back here Friday at 9-10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hit us up on WhatsApp. I have to allow you to join and let me know what you guys think. Anybody that has any comments after this video goes, make sure you put any comments down here. Anybody on Instagram, after this video ends, I think it's not archived, so therefore it will not show again. So all I can tell you is thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for listening. I love you very much. And this is great news for people that invested in Larimar. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell for the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And all I can tell you is it's going to get harder. It's going to get a lot harder. So you're going to want assets that increase in value greatly, because you don't know what's going to happen in the future, because you're going to need more money. And if you have an asset like this that you're able to charge, I don't really, $200 per night, let's say, and you can get a 50% occupancy rate, that's 180 nights a year. You start adding these numbers up, 36 G's, right? Take away 25%, great. A fourth. Now you're into the 20s, but that's still $2,000 per month coming in your pocket. You're going to need that and everything by the time 2027 rolls around. Mark my words. All right. We just don't talk real estate. We talk stocks. We talk investment opportunities, business opportunities. We talk about a lot of things. But one thing I'm not going to leave you guys hanging is that being like not knowing what's going to happen. Again, I'm very proud of my prediction before when I said I'm not really happy about it, but we knew what was going to happen. The middle class was going to get wiped out in 5 years. So we've been doing this for 5 years. Now I'm telling you the next phase of the upper middle class wipeout is coming, and that's going to be done in 3 because of the next bull run market. Everything rises. So either you're going to be able to afford it or you're not, or you're going to have to stay put. All right. And it does come in handy. I will say one other thing. If you can buy free and clear property, a tiny house, anything that you don't have a mortgage on, that's a great investment right now as well, too. Why? You can do short-term rentals with it. And if things hit the fan, you have a place that you don't have to worry about paying a mortgage for. All right. That's one of the things I talked about before. You got to put yourself in a protection mode. Have stuff offshore. Have something onshore that you know that if you are broke, you have a place to stay. Just keep those things in mind. All right. You're going to need that for your financial survival. Watch for the video that I'm going to have coming out once I get some new news about Larimar and about the permits and when they can actually really start if the permits are already done. Watch for that news over the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll talk about it on Friday night. We'll talk about some other things on Friday night too, because we need those streams of income. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And with all that said, from all the platforms, the podcasts, all right, the iHearts, the Spotifys, all of that, Apple podcasts, all of that. Thank you guys for allowing me to be on the platform. Appreciate it. And with all that said, be safe out here. Make sure you register to vote. Make sure you double check your register to vote. Make sure you participate in our election. Make sure you got your IDs or whatever you need for your city, state to vote. All right. But you have to be on the voter rolls to vote. So make sure you have not been removed. So start checking after about another 30 days. Make sure your whatever the requirements are, double check, triple check, because your voice needs to be heard. All I can tell you is I will say I'm on one side and I'm against Project 2025. You want your rights? Start reading. It's a long read, but go Project 2025 summary on Google, which is also Agenda 47. If you want to sign up for that, well, you got somebody to vote for. If you don't want to sign up for that, then you got somebody to vote for. So this is going to be monumental because as America, as you know, the layout right now, if things go a certain way, it could be changed. All right. So just keep that in mind and do your research and study, and don't listen to what other people say. Do your own research. Just like here with real estate, that's how you should be getting your information when somebody tells it to you. When somebody says, this is what's going on, you want to go check several different sources, not just one that parrots the same that somebody else wrote. You want to double check and see it for yourself, even if you have to go to the city, state, or county to pull up the record. Don't just believe anything out here anymore. All right? That is not a thing you should do. So I'm just keeping you 100% straight. Just make sure you put yourself into a democracy situation and vote for what you want, what you are looking to do. Right? Okay? And I'm just going to say a few other things. America is in NATO, right? America has treaties with its allies, right? And when you're in these organizations, you agree to do certain things. Help other countries and other people. So just keep these things in mind. That is part of America. That's why we have allies. That's why the status quo has been the same for, well, ever since World War II. So we're not that far removed. But you start messing around with the who partners are, such as BRICS. BRICS is not a, first of all, those countries do not have the GDP. Only China can even get close to the GDP of America, get close to the financial firepower. The other countries inside BRICS, they're not going to have the right currency and be able to use that BRIC currency to actually get, let's just call it 50% of the currency market. That's not going to be possible. All right, because they're not going to be able to, the unstable currencies, people usually want to exchange them for stable currencies. So unless some watershed moment occurs, we're still going to have US dollar as the world currency. We have like, what is it, 85% is US dollars. So keep all these things in mind. You can actually do upward mobility as long as you can buy assets and nobody restricts you. As long as you can live and buy and do whatever you want without restrictions. Buy stocks, buy real estate, buy assets without restrictions. And you have upward wage mobility, which is what America is. You come to America, you can be whatever you want and work hard. That's why everybody wants to come here. So keep these things in mind. Don't disappoint yourself and your family. Try to be best. Try to be better. And no matter what somebody else is going through, duress, stress, misunderstandings, they may be having a bad day. Just be careful. Some people may be having a bad day, and that's maybe why they're acting the way they're acting. So always try to keep a level head, de-escalate anything, any problems before you get into the problem. All right. With all that said, thank you for watching, and keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.